Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Very good afternoon to you.
Yeah, ma'am. We'll start within 5 minutes. Let all
Absolutely.
participants
Absolutely.
join. Yes,
So, who are the target audience, ma'am?
ma'am. They are the fresh researchers who are
Alright.
pursuing research, and we have got registrations. 53 registration from 8 states,
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay.
and
That's
certain
national.
students in our faculty, they will also be joining.
Okay.
But normally the joining rate is 45 to 50.
Fair enough. Okay.
Although registration is still 80.
Okay. And this is
But
national level.
yeah, we'll be sharing recordings to them because many of them have started with their college work.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely.
Yeah, ma'am.
All right, ma'am. We
So-
shall wait till the time you give us start, ma'am. No worries.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. By 3-5, we can start.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
इधर रखो रख दी।
Savita ma'am.
हाँ मैम, can we start? Poonam ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
ma'am. Sharwari ma'am, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I request everyone to please raise yourself for the national anthem.
Ma'am, voice is not coming, huh?
हर्षिता मैडम वॉइस नहीं आ रहा है. हर्षिता मैम. I'm sorry for the technical issues.
Sharvari ma'am, you can start without that.
Okay, miss. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry for the technical glitches. This is Sharvari Paranspe. Welcomes you all on behalf of Bharat Friends Association, Bharat College of Arts and Commerce, who has organized the 10 days capacity building program on research methodology. Today we have very eminent speaker, Dr. Poonam Kakkad Madam. It's my great pleasure to introduce Poonam Madam. Madam has completed her MCom from Mumbai University in Advanced Accountancy. She has completed MPhil from Madurai University in Commerce, PGDM from NMI-MS in Marketing Management, and PhD from Mumbai University in Business Policy and Administration. Currently, Poonam Madam is working as an assistant professor with Nirmala Memorial Foundation College of Commerce and Science, University of Mumbai. She is a coordinator of BMS and BCom Accounting and Finance, as well as Madam is working as a IQSC coordinator in the same college. She has recognized PhD guide at Mumbai University for business management. Madam has also recognized PG teacher at University of Mumbai for college commerce. She has 16 years of teaching experience. She has given her great time in research also. Madam has completed 2 minor research projects which are sponsored by University of Mumbai. Madam has published and presented 14 research papers at international level and 16 papers at national level. Poonam Madam has authored 4 books at international level and 12 at state level. Madam has chaired technical session at 5 national and 6 international conferences. Also, Madam is a peer review member at 5 national and 5 international conferences. Madam has organized more than 10 research workshop conferences at state, national, and international level. Poonam Madam was appointed as a VC nominee on selection committee for assistant professor at various colleges. She was appointed by Honorable Vice Chancellor as an officer on special duty to expedite the screen marketing process. She was the member of University Syllabus Forming Committee for first and second year BMS. Madam has received so many awards. Actually, the list is very long. I have selected some of them. Madam has awarded by Best Paper Presenter at various national and international conferences. Also, she has got appreciation from Honorable Vice Chancellor and Director, Board of Examination and Evaluation, University of Mumbai, for monitoring the task of timely completion of paper assessment and moderation work of commerce and management for second half of examination 2018 and 19. Also, Madam has received award from Saurabh Shivre as a Young Research Award at Maharashtra State Commerce Association in 2019-20. She has received Eminent Young Researcher for National and International Award 2021 for I2R, which a registered MSME with the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India. Best Research Paper Award for a study on perception of teacher for online teaching during COVID-19 pandemic at National Level Conference on Online Teaching, Opportunities and Challenges, organized on 23rd February 2021 by N.G. Acharya and D.K. Marathe College of Arts, Science and Commerce. Madam has received a national level, the Best Teacher Award in Faculty of Management under the age group of below 40 years. The award was bestowed in the presence of Honorable Chairman of UGC, that is University Grant Commission. The list is very long, and Madam, if I have, by mistake, if I have skipped anything, I'm really very sorry, but the reading your entire bio is a great pleasure. We are really blessed with your presence, and without wasting much time, we would really like to hear you. So over to you, Poonam ma'am. Kindly start with your session.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, ma'am, for the warm welcome that I have got. My heartfelt thanks to the principal, Dr. Neetu Kapoor, madam, for giving me an opportunity to spread the light of knowledge among the aspiring research scholars and budding researchers on this capacity building program organized by your esteemed institution in association with ICSSR. So I thank you once again for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
My
Good
pleasure.
afternoon, audience. Glad to get connected to you. Glad to know it is virtual, but however, we make the best use of it. Had it been that we were meeting face to face, the joy of research and sharing the knowledge of research would have been all the more. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe this is the 5th day of the capacity building program. So understanding the fact that you'll have finished with 4 days, I'm sure that each of you must have got yourself well acquainted with the basic fundas and concepts of research. Today's session titled as Types of Sampling. Well, it seems to be very theoretical for many of them, but we need to keep in mind that this is one of the most crucial and having a good weightage and relevance in the journey of research, unfortunately, which is taken on a lighter note or sometimes overlooked by the research scholar. So it was a great challenge to me that this topic was given, because people consider it so as a basic theoretical concept. Because when you talk about research, people are more interested to know about data analysis and knowing about various tools to analyze the data, SPSS and other packages. So here where I took the challenge and I said, a lot of times what happens is we feel that we know much in research, but the basic fundas which are required in order to give your ultimate justification, which is known as during a time of open defense, there we goof up because we are not able to answer to the questions which are raised by the audience who are present for our open defense. So let's give a start. Before I go into the depth, I would like to promise all my audience that I will not be using any research jargons. I will not be using any technical terms to make the research journey as a very heavy dose journey, but we'll keep it at a lighter note. On the same time, parallelly, we make sure that we get our concepts very clear keeping in mind that at the end of our research journey, we need to be answerable for all the decisions that we have taken in the process and journey of our research. Well, I just wanted to know how many of you all from the audience, there are 42 people here, how many of them are already achieved the degree of PhD? You may raise your hands, please. Any qualified doctors here? Okay. Krishna Jha, already, yes. Bhavika Thakkar, all right. All right, anybody who are research scholars who are in the process of doing their research and PhD? Mr. Ajit is there. What about the rest? So I believe I'm in process. Okay, so I believe Sandesh sir is there. Okay. Rest of them are aspiring researchers. So probably they are getting the taste of research to decide whether they need to do research or not. However, there is no escapism, friends. The new education policy have said education, PhD is going to be a mandate degree that one needs to get in order to survive in this profession. So teaching profession will require this ultimate degree in our hands that we need to achieve it to the earliest. Okay. Well, please allow me to share my screen.
Ma'am, you are co-host, so you can share your screen.
I can do that.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
All right. Day 5, session 1, types of sampling. Well, I want to know from my audience that what is the basic expectation that they are having from this session that they want me to deliver. I'm sure nobody wants to know what is sampling, what are the advantages of sampling, features of sampling. These are basic concepts that you can open a book and you can read it. Yeah? In research, there are a lot of books available, friends. Popular books, you have C.K. Kothari, Research Methodology pe. Then you have Naresh Malhotra book, Andy Field books. These are very famous books when you talk about research. The problem arises then when the researcher is stuck in the research journey, the scholar doesn't know which page of the book to open in order to give solution to their problem. So here in this session of mine, I will be taking you to the journey which books does not say, which experiences says. So in this session, we'll be learning a lot of concepts through mistakes that people have done and ensure that we don't follow the same mistake in our research process and in our research study. So wishing you all the best, to you as well as to me. Yes, my question was, what is that you were expecting from this session? Selection of sample is finite population as well as infinite population. Okay. Sample selection techniques or methods. Okay. Can we get the previous
one more? How to select a perfect sample?
How to select a perfect sample? Sounds good. Explanation in a simple manner. All right, Aditi, we'll try our best because I have promised you that I will not be using much of jargons and technical words in order to get you clear with the concept. Please remember one thing in mind, friends. Being research scholars, okay, you need to have an end in your mind, to start with an end in your mind. In the process of your research journey, at every hook and step, you will have to take decisions. Decision on what's going to be your title of study. Decision on what's going to be your objectives and hypotheses. Decision on what's going to be your research design. Decision on what's going to be your sample. Decision on which statistical tool are you going to use. So imagine the number of decisions as a researcher you're going to make for your study. While you're making decisions over all these areas, you need to keep in mind that ultimately you have to justify all your decisions that you have taken. To justify is nothing else, but you should be able to defend your action and the decision you have taken in your journey of research. So here I've got a lot of questions that my participants have said. Which sample is suitable for various research? So whether you're writing an article or whether you're writing a dissertation or thesis, what kind of sampling technique should be used? So firstly, before I start, I really need to get an idea as to what's your knowledge and what's your know-how on the concepts of research as well as sample. You know, let's give a start. So here I asked you, what are your expectations from this study? And that's how I've got a lot of answers from everyone. What they are expecting is basically how to identify the sample for the study. Next, how to identify the sample size for the study. Mind you, these are the questions that you will be asked in your open defense. Because don't get stuck to just one thing. How is your data being processed? And which is a statistical tool you have used. Before that, you will have to justify as to why you have selected this particular research topic and why do you have this particular population for your study. All this question comes under one concept, which is known as research design. And sampling is a part, a subset of research design. So research design is basically a stage in research process where you are taking a lot of decisions. Research कब चालू होगा, research कब तक खत्म होना चाहिए, research करने के लिए how much of financial assistance you will require, the time frame that you will be requiring, what kind of data will you be collecting, from where will you be collecting the data, how will you process the data, methodology in analyzing the data, how will you make the report. So all your WH questions that you have needs to be answered well in your research design. Ultimately, when your thesis has been submitted to the respective university from where you are doing, that thesis will be then moved forward to the examiner. Examiner, before checking your objectives also, believe me, will read the preface and go to chapter number where you have written your research design, because they're more interested to know how have you conducted your entire research. One of the crucial aspects in your research design is all going to talk about your sample. Who are your respondents? How did you select your respondents? On what basis did you select your respondents? Is your sample size sufficient enough to generalize your findings? These are the questions the examiner will try and hunt in your research design, which is related to sample designing. And this is all that we will be talking in today's session. So that's how your questions came to me. How do we decide which technique and method should we use for sampling? When should we decide about the sample for the study? Should I decide about my sample before deciding the title? After deciding the title and doing review of literature? When should I decide what should be my sampling technique, my sample size? When I'm submitting my proposal to university for getting my title approved for my research? Or let the title get approved and then the process begin? We'll then decide and discuss over after review of literature, what should be my sample size and my population. A lot of research scholars are in the opinion and in the perception, I want to do research which nobody else has done it ever. So if you are under that assumption that if you want to do research which nobody else has done it ever, let me tell you, you're not sailing in the right boat. Why? You'll come to know at the end of my session. And there is never a chance where you can say, nobody has done a research. I want to do that kind of research. Or very few people have touched the area, so I want to study that. If you're getting into that zone, let me remind you that's a danger zone. No harm in getting there. No harm in getting there. But at the initial stage, if you get into that zone where nobody has tapped that area, and there are very hardly any research done in that area, then friends, we are inviting trouble. Why? Because we do not have previous researches which are done on that topic. Can we mute ourselves, please?
Sorry,
Yeah.
ma'am.
No worry, no worry. So basically, we are going to answer to these all questions in session 1. I just said sampling design is a crucial stage in research design. Basically, it is a decision-making stage. Research में सबसे पहला decision-making stage आता है when you're deciding your title. That nearly takes about 3 to 4 months or nearly about 6 months. I should do research in which domain? That's a confusion. So by the time you decide in which domain you want to do and what's going to be your title of study, it really becomes a hard effort for you because you feel finally the title is ready for you to make your proposal and submit it. But you actually need to know that after taking the decision of making your title, there are followed by a lot of other decisions that you will be taking. And one of such decisions is all about sample. Your decision should be defendable. That's what I said. आप जो भी decision लेने वाले हो, for all the stages of your research, you should be able to justify your act. Because now it is open defense. You will have people from industry, research scholars, and other people from academia who's going to question you as to why did you take this particular reason? Or why did you take this particular step? Why did you take this particular sampling technique? Why did you select this particular population? So to answer to that why, when you're making a decision, you need to always start with an end in your mind. आखिर में मैं इसको defend कैसे करूं? If I'm taking a sample size of maybe 1,000 college-going students to study their buying behavior for branded apparels, why am I taking 1,000 only? And why I'm taking just college-going students as my population? If I am talking about a topic which could be as a study on factors influencing employee engagement in service sector with respect to 5-star hotels, question arises, why have you taken 5-star hotels? And you have written in your topic the special reference to Mumbai. So question arises, how many 5-star hotels were there and how many did you approach? You need to know how many 5-star hotels are there. Will you be able to count those 5-star hotels? And why did you select one 5-star hotel and left the other 5-star hotel? That could be a reason asked. Your study could be study on job satisfaction of employees in private sector banks with special reference to a couple of banks. The couple of banks what you listed was HDFC, ICICI. Question arises, why did you only select HDFC and ICICI? Why not other private sector banks? So the why should be answerable by your own self for every time the decision that you take. Hence, I say, though this is a very theoretical concept of sampling design, but a very weightaged and a very crucial decision that the researcher is taking in their research journey. अल्टीमेटली उसको जवाब देने का है ये पॉपुलेशन, ये सैंपल फ्रेम, ये सैंपल साइज, ये सैंपल सैम्पलिंग टेक्निक क्यों यूज किया. You should be able to answer it and satisfy the audience who have raised the question. Now, before I get you into the different techniques and methods of sampling, these are 5 points, 5 fundas, 5 principles, 5 concepts that you need to know it very clearly in order to decide what sampling technique will you use. Now, why do we use a sample? We all know. Sample also, we know what is sample. Sample is a part of whole. It's a part of population. A problem ye aati when I say sample is a part of population, does my audience really know what is population? Usually, the word universe and population are synonymously used. किताब में भी पढ़ा होगा आपने, इतनी बड़ी-बड़ी किताब के नाम बताए हमने. So a lot of researchers are under the impression that universe and population are the same and sample is a part of this universe and population. Now, why do I take a sample? Because definitely it's a huge number where I cannot reach up to due to geographical constraint, due to time constraint. And that's the reason I select a representative of the entire population or universe. That's all people say and understand sample all about. Half knowledge is very dangerous. Let's get ourselves acquainted thoroughly with the concept of what do you mean by this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 concepts that we'll discuss. If time permits, I'll teach you how to derive sample size. लेकिन इसके अलग से 3 घंटे के सेशन होते हैं कि sample size कैसे derive करते हैं. Though ready-made calculators are available, but which figures to insert on the formula in order to get the sample size is also a question. Those figures are ultimately the concepts that I want you all to know, which is known as universe, population, sampling frame, sampling unit, sampling technique. Let's begin with first one. Universe, population. What does my audience say? Are the terms synonymous? Are these terms synonymous? You can use the chat box, that's fine. And I want my audience to interact. यहाँ पे हमारा बोलना कम होता है और यहाँ पे question answers round ज़्यादा होते हैं. Because when the resource person is talking, the audience is always thinking about their topic and what matches to their topic. So basically, which sample design they should be adopting. So more than listening to the resource person, they are in their thought process of what technique they should adopt for their research. Understanding a little of explanation that we give during the session. So to give a start, what do we understand? Is there any difference or it means the same, universe and population? Is anybody outside Maharashtra from the audience? Ladies and gentlemen? Sandesh sir is outside Maharashtra. Anyone else? You may raise your hand or put up in the chat box. Okay, somebody said no, universe as a whole and population means target area. All right.
Ma'am, Sarita Joshi is from Karnataka.
Okay, madam is from Karnataka. Yeah, so I have got one answer from Dr. Bhavika where she says there is a point of difference between universe and population. Anyone else would like to give a try? Let's keep the session interactive. आपके दिमाग में क्या आता है when you listen or when you understand with universe or population? It means the same. These terms are alternatively used. In a lot of books you must have read about universe and population. Both are different concepts. Yes, Rahul says that. Well, when you say it, you need to. Both are different. Oh, people are saying both are different. But is there any reason or any justification? Friends, we will run on justifications and the logic. Okay. So what justification can you give when you say universe and population are both different concepts? Should I go ahead with it? All right. Many people have this misconception that universe and population are synonymous terms. But ideally, these two terms are different. There is a difference between both the concepts, universe and population. Universe is a theoretical concept, and population is the numeric concept, the actual number. Let me give you an example. I'm doing universe is a set of all experiments units. All right, sir. We still go ahead. Somebody has given me a challenge and they have requested to please make it more simplified way that we understand. Friends, only if you know these terms, universe, population, sample frame, sample unit, only then you will be able to take a right decision on sampling method and techniques. Hence, first I'm focusing on these concepts to land up to the topic of sampling method and techniques. So I said the two concepts are different, universe and population. To give you an example, I am working on a research which is on MBA students in Mumbai. Now, MBA students in Mumbai, it's a finite population. There are finite number of MBA colleges, and every college has got finite number of MBA students which are allotted by AICTE. Not all the colleges' seats will get fully occupied. Some colleges, MBA seats may remain vacant. So here, MBA student is your universe. And the total number of MBA students that are studying in Mumbai across all the colleges, that becomes your population. So your population is actually the actual number. Let me give you another example. Let's go ahead with it first. We're talking about universe and population, and I give you one more example to know the same. Wherein I just said universe is a theoretical concept and population is the actual number. Population can be finite or infinite. I hope you know the concept of finite, where you can derive a number, definite number. Infinite, where you cannot calculate. There is no end number here. There is no definite number here. Now you're going to help me out and going to tell me what basically is the universe and the population. First one, a study on perception of commerce students for online learning at Bharat College. Universes, it is the actual element which I'm going to study on. What's the element that I'm going to study on? Is actually my commerce students. अब भरत कॉलेज में कितने कॉमर्स स्टूडेंट्स है? तो भरत कॉलेज हैज गॉट near about 1000 students of commerce, FI, SY और TY मिला के. The number that I gave you is actually the population. My dear teachers, please remember, research scholars, that sample is derived from the population. A bonus given to you. Sample is never derived from the universe. In your complete research journey, don't focus on sample. Focus on the population. Once your population is clear, sample automatically can be derived. Ultimately, when you're going to do your research findings, the findings that you're going to generalize is not going to be for the sample, it's going to be for the population that you are studying. So when you're deciding your title of your study, you need to make it very clear who's going to be your population that you want to, or universe that you're going to study, and wo universe ke kitne numerical numbers hai, actual numerical number, that becomes your population. So in the current study, commerce students could be from arts also, students could be from science also, but I don't want to study science and commerce, that is science and arts. I want to study students of commerce only. That's my universe. And population is the actual number of commerce students at Bharat College. So if there are 1,000 students, I need to derive a sample who is a representative of this population, having homogeneous characteristics, and pick up a group of students representing commerce students. That becomes your sample. Let me take another example. A study on job satisfaction of female employees in SBI, a public sector bank. What is constant here? A bank है, हाँ जी, लेकिन कौन सी बैंक हमने बड़ी precise कर दी. I want to study public sector banks only, no private sector. I narrowed down my topic and precisely said, of all the public sector banks, I want to study only SBI Bank. I still narrowed down my concept, my title of study, my area, my domain of study. When I talk about employees, male, female, dono hai, I still narrowed down my topic and I said, I just want to say job satisfaction for female employees. So my universe becomes female employees. So what's my population? Total number of female employees at SBI, public sector bank. मैम वो डेटा कहाँ से मिलेगा? डेटा मिल सकता है? हाँ जी, RTI डालो. So there, if you, every company, it is mandated to fill up the data. So definitely there, right to information, you will get an idea as to how many number of employees the government hai job. So government bank में कितने female employees है? Statistics मिल जाएगा. अब वो हरियाणा में ढूंढ रहे हो, आप मुंबई में ढूंढ रहे हो, पंजाब में, that you can find out through the statistics which are available on platform. So when total number is available, that is what we call it as population. I hope you understood the fine line of difference between universe and population. Henceforth, please remember, sample is always derived from population. Sample is not derived from universe. Your universe is female employees and your population is going to be total number of female employees that are working in SBI. From that total number, you will derive the sample. That's a bonus that I gave you. So when you open defense, or at the time of making a decision in your research journey, or when you're making the title of your research topic, or your proposal, dissertation, thesis, please remember one thing, you need to write down your universe correctly in the title. So sample is always derived from the population and not from the universe. We will be, very good session. Let's go ahead, sir. Wish me all the best that I satisfy your needs and wants, because Aditi has told me that she wants it in a very simplified way. I've told you we need to study 5 concepts under sampling design. We finished with first concept. Concept was universe and population. Done. Now, in order to understand the sampling techniques, I need to know one more concept, which is known as sample frame. And I'm sure all of them, as my audience, must have at least heard about the topic or the concept sample frame. Any clue on what you mean by sample frame? Let's give a try. Let's see what's running in your mind when I say what do you mean by sample frame. Anyone? अच्छा, अब तक समझ में आया? Have you understood so far what I have explained, friends? A yes or a no will work for me so that I'm able to understand, I'm able to connect to everyone. I taught you what is universe and what is population. I also taught you what is finite and what is infinite. So population can be finite, which you can count it. A population can be infinite, which sometimes you cannot count. For example, stars in galaxy. So stars in galaxy cannot be counted, infinite population. For example, bones in human body, that can be counted, finite population. So every researcher should ask a question to themselves while they are making their research topic, that whether their population is finite or infinite. The answer to your question that whether your population is finite or infinite will help you to derive the sampling technique. Now, if I tell you your population is smokers in Mumbai, whether this is finite or infinite population. Smokers in Mumbai. Finite or infinite population? Infinite. Very good. Good. Infinite. If I give you a topic, something as consumers drinking cold drinks, finite or infinite population? Can you find out the number of consumers who drink cold drinks? Consumers doing online shopping. Certainly, you cannot derive the number of people doing online shopping. Very difficult. It's an infinite population. So once in the title itself, you can define whether the population is finite or infinite. You will be able to exactly plot the sampling technique. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. I asked you about sample frame. Sample frame means a unique address of the respondent in the population. I repeat, sample frame means a unique identity given to the respondent in the population. Let me give you an example. Voter's ID. Every voter has got a distinct ID number. This is known as a unique number given, a unique address given. That's a sample frame. For example, I tell you, yes, every student gets a unique registration number in the college. So as every student has got their registration number, this becomes a frame, this becomes a list. Sample frame is available because every individual has got a unique identity number, Aadhaar card of individuals. Every citizen has got Aadhaar card with a unique identity number. Is that a sample frame? Yes. Another example, every patient in the hospital has got a unique number given, identity number. So when a respondent of the population can be or is having a unique identity address or number, that is called as a sample frame. Every employee in the organization has got a unique ID number. A sample frame is available. Every book in the library has got a unique identity number. Sample frame available. Consumers doing online shopping for apparels in Mumbai. Now, have these consumers got unique identity number? No. In short, education institutions, government organizations, private organizations, hospitals, studies made under these areas or these domains, sample frame is available. Every book in the library has got a unique number, as I said. Voters ID list. These are all the examples of sample frame. Therefore, Every unique number that distinguishes one entity from the other is called as a sample frame. अब आपको अपने आप को दूसरा क्वेश्चन पूछना होगा. पहला क्वेश्चन क्या पूछोगे? यही पूछोगे कि मेरे टाइटल में पॉपुलेशन क्या है. You identified your population, that is the area actually on whom you're going to study. That's your population. Your next question you're going to ask whether this population is finite or infinite. So if you can really count on the numbers which could be running in hundreds or thousands, which has a definite number, that is finite. And something which you really cannot count on, galaxies and stars like, that's infinite. So you identified the population and you identified whether it's finite or infinite. Next question you're going to ask yourself, whether a sample frame is available for this population. If I want to study satisfaction level of approved teachers at University of Mumbai, chalo. I repeat the question. If I want to study satisfaction level of approved teachers, job satisfaction of approved teachers at University of Mumbai, तो सबसे पहले जान लो आप आपकी यूनिवर्स क्या है. भाई मेरी यूनिवर्स होने वाली है अप्रूव्ड टीचर्स. मेरे को अनअप्रूव्ड टीचर्स के बारे में नहीं पढ़ना है. So my universe is well defined, crystal clear, approved teachers. अब population देखो, क्या इसका population मिल सकता है? 100% approved teachers university से पूरा list मिल सकता है? Can you count the approved teachers? 100% yes, finite population. Does all the teacher have got an approved identity number? 100% yes, con-call number. A sample frame is available. Note down, you get a bonus here. When you have sample frame ready and when your population is finite, you will apply probability method of sampling. Question ये आता है ना, people really don't understand कौन सा technique use करो. There are two techniques. I'll be going to the depth. Probability and non-probability. सुना तो होगा आपने. लेकिन क्या होता है कभी हम पढ़ते नहीं है और we don't get into the depth of the knowledge to know when should we use probability in probability and non-probability. Now I'm making your fundas and your pillars very strong, very strong. This is out of my experience that I'm teaching. Certainly I must have read a lot of books, but I too have made a lot of mistakes in identifying my sample, my respondents. और डेटा कलेक्ट होने के बाद स्टैटिस्टिशियन के पास गई. स्टैटिस्टिशियन से बात क्या है? देन ही इज सेइंग मैडम आपने डेटा ही सैंपल साइज करेक्ट नहीं लिया था और probably the method of sampling is not right. As a sir, I have already collected 2,500 samples. Then he is saying unfortunately yes, but the technique adopted is completely irrational, illogical, unscientific. You will be questioned on your methodology of collecting data. My heart was in my mouth. 2,500 का सैंपल कलेक्ट करने के बाद जब मैं स्टैटिस्टिकल एनालिसिस कर रही हूँ और व्हाट इज माय सैंपल साइज पूछा गया तो बताया 2,500 और तब मुझे पूछा गया कैसा कलेक्ट किया. I told the methodology in which I collected. It was a dissatisfactory answer to the statistician. वैसे तो रिसर्च में स्टैटिस्टिशियन की जरूरत नहीं होनी चाहिए. You should be able to identify and analyze your own data. That's the true victory. लेकिन कभी कभी क्या होता है कॉमर्स स्टूडेंट्स बोलते हैं मैथमेटिक्स पार्ट अपने पल्ले नहीं पड़ता है. भाई हम प्रोसेस कर लेंगे, आगे का एनालिसिस पार्ट कोई करके दे दो, आगे का हम बाकी का काम करेंगे, ठीक है, इट्स ओके. No research can be done alone. You need help of a lot of supporters. One such supporters are even statisticians. But statisticians take a lot of money. If you understand the concept also, which tool to apply when, then you don't need anybody's help for analyzing the data. So here I say, if you ask the question, what's your population? Second question, whether the population is finite or infinite. अगर आपका population finite है और अगर आपको उसका sample frame मिल रहा है, आप probability sampling लगाएं. On the contrary, vice versa, अगर आपका population infinite है, for example smokers in Mumbai, अभी कितने लोग smoke करते हैं भाई, I don't know, it's infinite population. क्या उसका कोई identity number मिलेगा? Of course not. It's completely infinite where I don't have the sample frame. In such a situation, when the population is infinite and when you don't have the sample frame, you adopt non-probability method of sampling. Is this much clear to all? May we proceed? हाँ जी, audience है. शर्वरी मैडम ने बताया, राहुल सर ने बताया, बाकी के लोग भाविका मैडम बोल रहे हैं. यस, ठीक है. So 3 people are there. What about the rest? Okay. Neetu ma'am. Yes ma'am. Thank you. Okay. Clark sir also is there. Sarita ma'am. Thanks ma'am. Smita. Okay, good. I have the audience with me and I'm glad that you are able to connect to me. Dr. Rupali. Thanks ma'am. Okay. So I have people who are Ranjit sir. Thanks. Sailesh sir. All right. The audience is there with us. Let's go ahead. So when I had said that we need to study some concepts, वो 4 concepts हमने आपको बताए थे, 5 concepts, उसमें से हमारा एक concept हो गया universe and population, second concept हो गया sampling frame. अब हम जाने वाले third concept है, which is sampling unit. A unit is nothing else but on whose behalf that individual or respondent is representing. That's a unit. I repeat, on whose behalf of the population of the sample that unit is representing. That's your sample unit. I'll give you examples for the same. Hold on. Let's take some examples for you to understand. Now here I'm asking you and requesting you identify whether the given examples have got a sample frame or not. Let's come up with the first one. You're going to tell me whether there is a sample frame available for such kind of questions or study. A study on soft drink consuming consumers. Whether a sample frame will be available for such kind of research study. Yes or no? A study on soft drink consuming consumers. All right, good. So we will not be having a kind of a sample frame for such kind of population. Next question. A study on satisfaction level of Tata car owners. सोच के जवाब देना. Satisfaction level of Tata car owners. Whether sample frame can be available here or no. Yes, it can be available. Dealers के पास जाएंगे तो यहाँ से हमें list मिल सकता है. How many people have taken Tata cars or the owners of Tata car? So a sample frame is available for such kind of topic. Let's go to next. I have given you this example, a study on problems faced by smokers. So I don't know how many number of smokers are there. There is no identity, individual address, identity number given to respondents here. And hence there is no framework available here. Next, A study on satisfaction of approved teachers in Mumbai. ये भी example मैंने आपको दिया. Number of approved teachers, उनका unique identity number हमें मिल सकता है. Hence, the answer is yes, a sample frame can be derived for this particular study. Since I have population which is a population which is finite, because I can know the total number of approved teachers, plus the sample frame is available, I will be applying for this topic a probability method of sampling. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. चलिए ये बताइए, study on satisfaction level of cycle users. सोच के बताना. Cycle users. What's my audience saying? Good. So answer is no, definitely. अब कितने cycle users है यहाँ पे, कोई मेरे पास data frame है, sample frame है नहीं. So this becomes there is no sample frame for this particular study. And here you get the bonus. Therefore, sample frame is available and it is finite population. And if it is a finite population, if the sample frame is not available, it is infinite population. याद रखना है, अगर sample frame available है, finite population है. अगर sample frame available नहीं है, it is obvious it is infinite population. Sample frame will give you an idea about the type of population. अगर frame है, list है, तो finite population. अगर frame नहीं है, list नहीं है, infinite population. और जब ना आता है, नहीं आता है, we also go for non-probability type of sampling. चलिए, we give you an example here, and you're going to help me to identify the three concepts in this study. This is a very hand-on practical sessions, friends, I'm trying to give you, because only when you understand this concept, तब आपको probability, non-probability समझ में आ जाएगा. चलिए, we give you the first question. It is written a study on satisfaction level of commerce teachers at University of Mumbai. What's your universe? Please write down in chat box. What's sample price available or not? And whether the population is finite or infinite. These three questions you may answer on the chat box. Commerce teachers universe, very good. All right, universe is done. I want sample frame available or not. Yes, sample frame is available. Very good. Good. So when sample frame is available, population is finite or infinite? Good. The population is finite. Very good. Good. Let's go to another. All right. Ready for second question? Okay. That's a true test you're giving yourself in order to come to the ultimate chapter, which is types of sampling. Okay, let's go here. Second one, ready. A study on investment attitude of females traveling by train in Mumbai. ध्यान से पढ़ो. Study on investment attitude of females traveling by train in Mumbai. Your universe. Female commuters, absolute. I've made it so precise, traveling by train. Yes. Very good. Sampling frame, available or not available? Sampling frame. कितने जन ट्रेन से ट्रैवल करते हैं? इतने हजारों में लोग. It's not available, friends. It's very difficult to count. I will not get the list. Okay, local trains I'm saying. So that goes very difficult unless it is a long distance train where you reserve your tickets and all. Yes, infinite population. Very nice. Good. Last. Study on reasons for stress among female students at Hyderabad University. For express is finite. Yes, I give it to you, Rahul. So my universe is female students at Hyderabad. Bingo. Yes. Sample frame available. Yes or no? Yes, available. Good. Whether population finite, infinite, population finite. चलो अब दोनों जगह yes yes आता है तो probability आता है. अगर दोनों concept और parameters पे, that is population is infinite, sample frame not available, we go for non probability of sampling. Welcome to the third concept. अरे बा और एक है. चलो समझ के जवाब देना आप यहाँ पे. Study on awareness of microfinance among dhobiwalas in Mumbai. Study on awareness of microfinance amongst dhobiwalas in Mumbai. Dhobiwala universe, all right. Yes, yes, dhobiwalas in Mumbai universe. Yes, constant. Okay. Sample frame available क्या? कितने धोबी वाले हैं पता चल सकता है क्या? Actually, it is no, not easy. It's infinite. Give it to you. So what kind of sampling technique will you apply here? Probability or non-probability? Non-probability. Fantastic. Yes. You will apply non-probability sampling here. Why? Because the sample frame is not available and the population is infinite here. Thank you. Let's go ahead. Thank you for your spontaneous reply and being connected. The session looks lively now. Let's move on to classifications of, we move on to your next concept. And that's what the question that you people had raised. How do we select the sampling technique? How do we select? यहाँ आप at least you have reached up to 80%. 80% तक आप पहुंच गए हो अभी. Now, if anybody asks you in your open defense, what kind of sampling technique have you adopted? Probability, non-probability. Look at the amazing answer you can give to defend your work. You will tell your universe, you will tell your population, you will tell your population is finite or infinite, and you're going to say the sample frame was available or not available, and hence you adopted probability or non-probability. Look at the unique way that you be presenting and defending your work. That will show an in-depth knowledge that you have for the study that you are doing. So the viewers and listeners and the examiners will be quite impressed with the knowledge that you are showcasing during your Viva and during your open defense. You yourself will be satisfied because you're able to justify your decisions. All right, let's go ahead. We are going to talk about classification of sampling methods. We are left with 20 minutes. All right, let's go with non-probability sampling. This is a time where you know that a population is infinite. This is a time when you know that you don't have a sample frame. अब आपके हाथ में ना sample frame है, ना आपके पास population भी infinite है. तो आप क्या करोगे? भाई, in order to save money and due to geographical constraint, you will use an easiest convenient method. Convenient sampling means जो सामने आया उसको मैंने पूछा. That is known as convenient sampling. For example, I'd given you a topic, a study on satisfaction of cold drink consumers in Mumbai. अब cold drink consumers infinite population, sample frame not available. अब कौन से मुंबई consumers में से कौन से consumers को लूं? मैं फॉर्मूला तो लगाऊंगी उधर कि कितने consumers tentative population है मुंबई की. जो फॉर्मूला से डिराइव होके मुझे आया नंबर, that is going to be my sample size. अब वो सैंपल को मैं सिलेक्ट कैसे करूं? फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं सरिता को ले सकती हूँ. वेल विजया को बोलेगी यू डोंट आंसर माय क्वेश्चन. किसको इन करूं, किसको आउट करूं? डू आई हैव अ से हियर? When it is non-probability sampling, the researcher has got a say. मतलब the researcher has got a right whether to decide in or out. किसको लूं? That is as good as saying convenient sampling. जो सामने आया consumer उसको पूछ लिया, उसको questionnaire दे दिया कि भाई जवाब दे दो. Whether what is your satisfaction level for Coca-Cola soft drink that you are consuming. So that's convenient sampling, saves your time. Most of the research papers, okay, where the sample size is very small. Okay, I repeat, sample size is very small, and when you don't have the population is infinite and sample frame nahi hai, they usually go for convenience sampling. People don't consider this a scientific method of sampling. So when you're doing your research work and you're selecting your title, जरा टाइटल में जब आप यूनिवर्स डिसाइड कर रहे हो, पॉपुलेशन डिसाइड कर रहे हो, जरा वो ध्यान में रखो कि वहां पे आप in order to make your study more concrete, more accurate, you should be able to apply probability sampling. उस हिसाब से आप अपने population और यूनिवर्स डिसाइड करना आपके टाइटल के लिए. However, I don't say that using non-probability sampling, it is a research which is invalid. I don't say that. But people feel this is not as scientific as the probability sampling results what you will get. That's the cry. Share the PPT. ठीक है, वो भी share कर लेंगे. More than the PPT, sir, what is important is the knowledge. है ना? So what I'm talking, if you write it down, so that is going to be the best thing. ये PPT तो कोई भी बना लेगा, sir. लेकिन the flow and in the rhythm in which it is going, to that you keep in mind. That is really going to help you out till the end of your PhD, till the time you get your degree in your hand. है ना? Or further research is what you do. Let's go to the next one, snowball technique. Now, what do you mean by snowball? Snowball. Snowball is nothing as जब it is moved from one person to another. ये धोबी वाला का example, what I've asked you, let's take up that example. I wanted to know awareness of microfinance amongst Dhobiwalas in Mumbai. Where the population is infinite, sample frame not available, hence I apply non-probability sampling. Now, I do not know how many Dhobiwalas are there. And I do not know who are the Dhobiwalas also. I only know the Dhobiwala which comes to my place in my locality. That's it. 2 or 3 of them. Up 2 and 3 cannot be a sample size. So I asked my Dhobiwala, do you have any other person आपके network में who you could make me meet and I could talk to them? So basically you're using somebody's network and the ball is moving from one person to another. They're passing on the ball and you're following the ball. That is snowball technique. Of days and of late, a lot of people are using snowball technique. क्यों? क्योंकि उनके यूनिवर्स ही ऐसे है तो where the network is not very known to the researcher, they have to take the help of the respondent in order to develop the network of their respondents. That is snowball technique. Okay. Next, we call it as judgmental sampling. So this is again a purposive sampling. For example, I'm a teacher in one of the colleges and I really want to know what's my feedback, which I have to give it to my management. I have to take my students' feedback about my teaching learning process. So I conducted the research. Up students hai. कुछ students are favorite students who will say Poonam ma'am teaches very well. कुछ ऐसे होते हैं due to some grudges, even if I teach well, probably they may say she teaches 3rd class. लिख लिया feedback में. So that spoils my reputation in front of my management. So what I do is I pick up only those students who are going to talk good about me. Purposive. What I want as an answer to come, I'll pick up those respondents only who won't talk good about me. So judgmental and purposive kind of research are not well welcomed by the society when they go through your research findings. Because they say this becomes a little biased kind of research. Or biased kind of research, there is no point in going through such results. Hence, judgmental sampling is not well appreciated when you do such kind of research. I hope एंड कोटा सैम्पलिंग जब मैं प्रोबेबिलिटी करवा रही हूँ तब कोटा करवाती हूँ. So non-probability sampling is clear to all. May we move ahead? We have 15 minutes in hand. Now we come to probability sampling. Now, what do you understand by probability? We all know probability, chance of it happening an event 50-50. So every respondent has a chance of getting selected in order to answer the research survey. So when every respondent gets an equal and opportunity chance, 50-50 chance, मिल भी सकता है, नहीं भी मिल सकता है, उसको हम probability बोलते हैं. और probability का सबसे common form of probability is, तो probability के तो मैंने आपके terms बता दिए, parameters. Probability sampling तभी यूज हो सकता है, पहला जब I have finite population, दूसरा जब मेरे पास सैंपल फ्रेम अवेलेबल. अब जब प्रोबेबिलिटी की बात आती है, वन थिंग इज कॉमन हियर, दैट इज रैंडम. अब जब इंग्लिश में बोलेंगे रैंडम, तो रैंडम मतलब जो दिमाग में आए वैसे, लेकिन रिसर्च में रैंडम का मतलब ये नहीं है. माइल्स अपार्ट द मीनिंग ऑफ रैंडम इन इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज एंड मीनिंग ऑफ रैंडम in research language. So when I say in research, random means lottery method, where the researcher has no say, where the researcher has no contribution, where the researcher has no capacity, no control over selecting the respondents. Lottery में क्या होता है, एक बोल लेते हैं. I'm giving you an example. वो बोल में जितने भी लोग हैं, सबका एक एक नाम का चिट बनाया. मान लो अभी कितने हैं, 45 people है. अब ये 45 people over present right now for today's session. I can have population, यहाँ पे देखने जाओ तो these are the people attending. तो I say कि yes, finite population है. सैंपल फ्रेम अवेलेबल है, हाँ जी, सबकी डिटेल्स मिल जाएंगे, यूनिक आइडेंटिटी नंबर भी होगा, रजिस्ट्रेशन करवाया होगा आपने, तो मैं प्रोबेबिलिटी सैंपल लगा सकती हूँ यहाँ पे. अब ये 45 पीपल में से मुझे एक सीआर ढूंढना है, दैट इज क्लास रिप्रेजेंटेटिव. वो क्लास रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को ढूंढने के लिए व्हाट आई डू इज, ऑल दिस 45 पीपल आई राइट डाउन ईच ऑफ देयर नेम इन अ चिट. ऑल दोस चिट आई मिक्स इट टुगेदर एंड पुट इट इन अ बोर्ड, and then randomly I'll pick up a chit जिसका नाम आया, that is the class representative. That is called as lottery method. अब यहाँ पे I have no control कि मुझे सरिता का ही नाम लाना है, नहीं हो सकता है. I have no control who will be in and who will be out. So there is no biasness here. Hence this probability method of sampling is highly been appreciated, as called a scientific method, and this is free from biasness also. लेकिन एक बात याद रखनी है प्रोबेबिलिटी सैंपल के लिए, जब आप ये लॉटरी मेथड कर रहे हो, there has to be one assumption, one condition. It is the population has to be, or the sample has to be homogeneous. सब एक जैसे होने चाहिए, homogeneous. Only then lottery method डाल सकते हैं. Only then we can use random sampling technique. So that's one condition and assumption that one needs to keep in mind, that the population needs to be homogeneous. Let's go ahead. Let's go with another one, which is known as stratified random sampling. Stratified, strata मतलब group. तो हमारा कुछ पॉपुलेशन ऐसा होता है कि यहाँ से एक से ज्यादा ग्रुप बन रहे वो पॉपुलेशन में. एग्जाम्पल दे, when you have to divide the population into groups until you get a homogeneous population, it is as good as calling stratified random sampling. Strata means group of people having common characteristics. For example, gender, all boys together, all females together. all boys with 20 age group one side, all boys with all girls with 20 age group one side, all boys with 20 age group with BTech one side, all boys with 20 age group with BCom one side. Imagine the number of groups that I am doing. Why am I doing into groups? अगर मुझे stratified random मैंने बताया, random मतलब लॉटरी को अगर मुझे ये पैटर्न डालना है, मेरा कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ पॉपुलेशन होमोजीनियस होना चाहिए. जब तक मेरा पॉपुलेशन होमोजीनियस नहीं होता, मैं उसको छोटे 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 ग्रुप में करती रहूंगी जब तक उनका कैरेक्टरिस्टिक सिमिलर नहीं होता. I have got 1,000 respondents in hand, 1,000 respondents, but having boys and girls in it. देखो, so this is heterogeneous characteristics I have. इस पे मैं यहाँ पे नहीं डाल सकती हूँ मेरा random sampling, lottery method नहीं डाल सकती because it is not accepting one assumption, which is it has to have assumption is it needs to have homogeneous population. Now, because it is not satisfying one of the assumptions, I have to first ensure that the population is becoming homogeneous. Okay, so now what we do is I keep dividing the groups. I just give you an example. Till the time you keep defining your parameters, we will keep breaking them into groups till we get the population which is having similar groups, similar characteristics, similar features. So if you take one or two variables, it becomes stratified. मैंने दो वेरिएबल लिया, मेरा पूरा पॉपुलेशन था बॉयज और गर्ल्स में, एक वेरिएबल जेंडर, और मेरा पॉपुलेशन में बॉयज और गर्ल्स था, डिफरेंट एज ग्रुप के थे, एक 20 साल का था, एक 50 साल का था. तो मैंने दूसरा वेरिएबल दिया एज. तो एज और जेंडर बना के मैंने ग्रुप को डिवाइड किया. यहाँ पे एक ग्रुप बनाया गर्ल्स का, दूसरा ग्रुप बनाया बॉयज का. फिर मैंने बोला बॉयज में जो ऑल अबव 40 है ये साइड, और बिलो 40 है ये साइड. गर्ल्स में ऑल बिलो अबव 40 ये साइड, ऑल बिलो 40 ये साइड. नाउ आई हैव कंप्लीट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक होमोजेनियस ग्रुप. 4 ग्रुप बराबर बने. बॉयज बिलो 40, बॉयज अबव 40, गर्ल्स अबव 40, गर्ल्स बिलो 40. अब लगाओ रैंडम सैम्पलिंग, लॉटरी मेथड. आपने क्या किया, अपने ग्रुप में डिवाइड किया, स्ट्राटा में डिवाइड किया, ग्रुप्स में डिवाइड किया, होमोजेनियस कैरेक्टरिस्टिक में डिवाइड किया. किसको डिवाइड किया? बेस्ड ऑन पैरामीटर वेरिएबल्स. So if you are having one or two variables, if you divide them into groups, it is on a stratified. लेकिन जैसे ही आपके ग्रुप्स, आपके वेरिएबल्स बढ़ते जाते हैं, आपने इनकम वाइज किया, फिर आपने एजुकेशन वाइज भी किया. Boys whose income is so and so, whose age is so and so, and whose education is so and so. तो आपके 6 ग्रुप बने बॉयज में, 6 ग्रुप बने गर्ल्स में. जैसे ही आपके ग्रुप्स बढ़ते जाते हैं, उसको बोलते हैं मल्टी स्टेज स्ट्राटा रैंडम सैम्पलिंग. किताबें कंफ्यूज करता है, लेकिन ये कंफ्यूज आपको नहीं करेगा once you understand this. Let's go to another technique. अब लोग बात करते हैं क्लस्टर की. ये क्लस्टर लगाना चाहिए तो क्यों लगाना चाहिए? काफी किताब में क्लस्टर को बोला गया है एरिया नहीं तो ज्योग्राफिक सैम्पलिंग. Well, according to me, cluster is nothing else but it is as good as stratified sampling. उसको भी ग्रुप्स बनाते हैं हम. The fine line of difference what the books have told, I try to explain you here. देखो, मैंने एक वेरिएबल लिया है और मैंने बोला है हाई, मीडियम, लो, मीडियम एंड हाई इनकम लिया था. मेरा टोटल पॉपुलेशन था 1000. लो वाले 700 थे, मिडिल इनकम वाले 200 थे, हाई इनकम ग्रुप वाले 100 जन थे. और मुझे सिलेक्ट करना था सैंपल साइज. मैंने जब फॉर्मूला डाला तो सैंपल साइज मुझे निकालना था 100. और यहाँ पे डिराइव किया कि 700 में से 70, 200 में से 20 और 100 में से 10 निकालने हैं मुझे. So how will I apply my method here? जब भी याद रखो, जब probability sampling होता है तब lottery method ही आने वाली है सब जगह. We'll go around the bush, but everything will revolve around lottery method only, which is random, not the English random word. अब मान लो लॉटरी कैसे निकाली, मैंने आपको ये भी बताया, सबका नाम चिट पे लिखना पड़ेगा। अब यहाँ देखो, अगर आप स्ट्रैटिफाइड सैम्पलिंग कर रहे हो विद वन वन वेरिएबल, आपने निकाल लिया 700, क्या आप 700 पीपल का नाम चिट पे लिखोगे, बोल्ड में डालोगे और उसमें से 70 निकालोगे? फिर आप 200 जन का नाम एक एक चिट पे लिखोगे, फोल्ड करोगे चिट को, बोल्ड में डालोगे, उसमें से 20 निकालोगे? ये तो मैं कम सैंपल बता रही हूँ। अगर आपका सैंपल 5000 में चल रहा है तो कैसे करोगे? So, in order to simplify your presentation, we use cluster sampling. But cluster is nothing else a better version of presentation for stratified sampling. देखो, अब मैंने क्या किया, मेरा वही वेरिएबल है, लो इनकम ग्रुप, मिडिल इनकम ग्रुप एंड हाई इनकम ग्रुप। मेरा सैंपल वही है, माय पॉपुलेशन मेरा, हाँ 1000, इसमें से 1000 को मेरे को सैंपल निकालने का, 700, 200 एंड 100, ये मेरा सैंपल साइज बताया। अब मैंने क्या किया, आई डिवाइडेड देम इनटू द रेंज ऑफ 70, 70, 70। मैंने ग्रुप्स बनाए इनके, कितने ग्रुप्स बनाए, तो मैंने 10 ग्रुप बनाए। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर मेरे 700 बच्चे हैं तो मैंने बोला रोल नंबर 1 to 70 ये ग्रुप पे आ जाओ, रोल नंबर 71 to 140 ये ग्रुप में आ जाओ, रोल नंबर 141 to 210 ये ग्रुप में आ जाओ। लाइकवाइज आगे 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 बढ़ते जाओ, और मैंने उनको ग्रुप्स में डिवाइड किया। वैसे ही 200 जन को मैंने ग्रुप में डिवाइड किया, 20 20 20 20 20 10 ग्रुप बनाए, और 100 के 10 10 ग्रुप बनाए। अब मैं यहाँ से रैंडम सैम्पलिंग कैसे निकालूंगी, देखो, मैं चिट पे लिखूंगी ए, चिट बंद किया, बोल में डाला, दूसरा चिट में बी, तीसरा चिट में सी, चौथा में डी, देन ई, देन एफ, देन जी। मैं जे तक का चिट्स बनाऊंगी, बोल में डालूंगी, और जो एक चिट निकला वो पर्टिकुलर रो कॉलम में सिलेक्ट कर लूंगी। तो एफ के हमारा चिट निकला, तो एफ कॉलम में जो भी 70 स्टूडेंट्स थे, 20 थे और 10 थे, दिस विल बिकम माय सैंपल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, माय रिस्पोंडेंट्स। नहीं तो समझो मुझे 700 लोगों का बनाना पड़ता चिट। अब मैंने चिट कितनों की बनाई, मैंने क्या किया मैडम, आपने सिर्फ उनको ग्रुप में डिवाइड किया, ये रहा ABCDEFGHIJ, और ग्रुप में डिवाइड करने के बाद, प्रोपोर्शनली डिवाइड करने के बाद, मैंने इनका लॉटरी मेथड निकाला, और लॉटरी में से मेरे को एफ का निकला, तो एफ के कॉलम में जितने बच्चे हैं, दैट बिकम्स माय रिस्पोंडेंट्स। Cluster sampling is not geographic in area. Basically, it is a better version of presentation of stratified sampling. Ultimately, वही हुआ, देखो 70, 20 और 10। स्ट्रैटिफाइड में क्या आपको निकालना था, अगर स्ट्रैटिफाइड सैम्पलिंग में देखोगे तो हमको वही सिलेक्ट करना है, 70, 20 एंड 10। लेकिन दिस वुड बी वेरी टीडियस। आई डिड माई वर्क इन अ वेरी शॉर्टकट वे यूजिंग क्लस्टर सैम्पलिंग, और छोटे छोटे ग्रुप्स में कर दिया, और फिर मैंने सैंपल लॉटरी मेथड इनका ही लगाया जो ग्रीन में है, जिसका लॉटरी आया DEFG, जिसका भी आया उस पर्टिकुलर रो का मैंने ले लिया रिस्पोंडेंट्स। Hence, there is, according to me, when if you read the books, CK कोठारी के बुक में ये दिया है, the explanation what they gave. You and I had taken time to understand this, the basic difference between stratified and cluster. So between the sample stratified, it is different. अभी आप एक बार table check करो, you'll be able to understand these terms because we are running short of time. Within the sample, stratified is same, cluster is different. Within the sample, wherein between the samples, stratified is different and cluster is same. With the example of my tables, if you see it, you will be able to understand the same. Okay. Now, quick hands-on session on all what you have studied so far. Let us put yourself into a test. I would request everybody on your mobile devices, please go to Google search engine and type KAHOOT, Kahoot. Please type KAHOOT on Google search engine. The moment you type Kahoot, they will ask you for a game pin. So basically all what you have understood, please test your knowledge, whether you're able to answer to the questions which have been structured here. So go to Google, write down Kahoot. This is your game pin. Copy link. Link कहाँ से मिलेगी? This is the link. This is QR code. That's a QR code also given to you, Baba. Start joining in. Okay, so one person is in. Rahul is in. All of them, please join in. भाई questions आपको screen पे देखना पड़ेगा. In order to answer it, you have to swipe your screen. I hope you have used Kahoot. Because answers में आपको सिर्फ colors दिखेंगे. कौन सा color, कौन सा answer है, वो वापस से Zoom के screen पे आके देखना पड़ेगा. All right, may I request the audience to please log in fast? Madam, you may keep this as your record also. I will share the sheet with you. So this is one document in case if you want to present it ICSSR also for the participants who participated
Yes,
for
ma'am.
hands-on training session. That will be kind of an evidence also.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
चलिए, it is 10 जन तो आ जाइए. 8 people. I think we can give a start, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We give you 30 seconds to answer. Sample is regarded as a subset of data का है, set का है, distribution के population का. Sample is a subset of henceforth now in the questions time duration is only 20 seconds. Correct, it's population. Let's go to next. All right, Madam Savita is at the top, followed by Rahul, Om, Dhanashri and Vignesh. Bhavika ma'am, we are missing you. Which of the following is not a type of non-probability sampling? It is not non-probability. Correct answer is stratified. Stratified is not a type of non-probability sampling. बाकी सब non-probability है. All right, next. Of the following sampling method, which is probability method? Probability. Probability में एक word common ही रहेगा हर जगह. And the word is random. The moment you see the word random, it is lottery method, which falls under probability method of sampling only. Let's go ahead. Snowball sampling is a method of choosing a sample using. I give an example of Dhobiwala. All right, Sharavari, we accept your answer. Thank you. Okay, the correct answer is network. Okay, let's go ahead. Third last question. Please decide which sampling method is this. So decide whether population is finite, infinite, sample frame available or not, probability, non-probability, and the type. We have 20 seconds left. Consumer preference for particular brand of cold drink. So the correct answer is infinite population, no sample frame available. Hence, you're going to use non-probability method. A non-probability method hai, then it is only judgment, so it is unbiased. Cluster becomes probability, stratified becomes probability. Because the population is infinite and because there is no sample frame available, I will go for non-probability sampling, which is convenience sampling. The teacher conducts an ethnography probe for the issues faced by tribe members and students. What sampling method is this? No worries, sir. You may join here. Write your answers on the chat box. Maybe the room has got locked. We left with 20 seconds. Chali, let's go ahead now. So the correct answer is cluster sampling. Why do you say that cluster? भाई यहाँ पे देखो members भी है, students भी है, two categories. So when I have got more than one or two categories, that becomes why it is cluster, because number of population यहाँ पे ज़्यादा रहेंगे बच्चे के और members के. So I divide them into small groups and then use the stratified method of sampling, which is equivalent to cluster. Dhanashri ma'am, see you at the top. The last question, second last. We call judgmental sampling. What do we call them? So this method of sampling is not appreciated in research. We call it as a very biased way of doing it. It's unscientific way method actually. आपको जो जवाब चाहिए आप उसी लोगों से बात करोगे. So that becomes purposive kind of a sampling. Correct. All right, again Savita comes on top. That's a good competition happening. Last question. List of students of university, voters list, telephone directory are examples of. Sample frame, that's right. That's all, we end session 1. And here we see position 3, Dhanashri ma'am, well done. So you had been attentive, equally Rahul sir. And well, I say the most attentive who have been in the session is Savita ma'am, congratulations. Some knowledge on concepts that you have heard from me for this 1 hour, 1.5 hours. So ma'am, with your consent, can we have a 5 minutes bio break and start with next session?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, surely. We will have a break. It was really very nice session. Actually, 1.5 hour कैसे pass हुआ समझा ही नहीं.
That's good.
No, seriously. We will take a break of 5 minutes and we will continue with the same session again with Poonam ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really very nice session.
Thank
We will
you.
come back within 5 minutes.
Yes, audience, please don't leave the session. Let it be continued. Ma'am will join again back after 5 minutes.
Thank you.
We provide feedback
Can we start, ma'am?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
Well, we now begin with session 2, and the session 2 is all about sources of data. Again, a very basic and primary topic which is given to me. So we had to take it as a challenge as to how we can make this session quite more interesting, because we all know the fact there are two types of sources of data. एक तो primary, दूसरा है secondary. A researcher jumps into primary only when the secondary data seems to be not sufficient enough in order to derive results for the predetermined objectives that the researcher has. So let's have some new elements in our session today where let's tap the untapped area. So far, probably we have not traveled into that domain and journey so as to understand how should we collect data. Now, we all know the fact that the essence and the primary factor for any research is actually the data that we have, the data that we collect. Because the data will give us the results. The data is going to speak about whether the objectives have been achieved, whether the hypothesis can be tested, are in favor or not in favor for the research study which has been made. So data plays a very crucial role in order to make our research study much more concrete and accurate. The question arises, how should we collect data? We all are very well versed that how do we collect data from secondary sources. But yet, secondary sources, when we say it, is nothing else but using of internet. Maximum of us do not know how to use an internet. We all use it, but Google search engine ko mein kuch dhoondna bhi, it's an art. Lot of time, lot of people say we are trying to search for a paper, but we are not getting any results. We are trying to search for this topic, but we are not getting results. So in this session, I'm really going to give you a hands-on session on what are the various sites that you can visit related to various domains, marketing, finance, HR, and what are the concrete and authentic data that you can collect. These data could be from books, journals, published research papers, working papers. It could be even reports which are published by agencies and research agencies. So let's take a look on what are the sources of data and how the data should be collected. This becomes a part of even a review of literature that one does, because a lot of time when the researcher has to search for the research paper, they fall in trouble as to we are not able to find relevant information, relevant facts for the study that we are making. So please remember that is hardly any time that you are doing a study which no one has done. Okay, there will be thousands and thousands of people who will be studying on the same topic which you are studying, okay, across the globe. But there is a way of getting connected to these people who are doing the same kind of study. How we can reach out to such people, how we can collect data and information from people who are almost studying into our area, our domain, or already studied into our area, our domain, our research topic. So welcome to session 2. We're going to talk about data and what are the various sources of data from where we can collect information, collect and gather information. Data, this is very critical, very sensitive element of research. One needs to really handle it well, because if the data is collected inefficiently, if the data is collected in a wrong way, then probably the results, the outcomes of the research will not be conducive and will not be acceptable to the agency or the society or the domain for whom we are doing the research for. One needs to keep in mind that हम research कर रहे हैं, PhD कर रहे हैं, not for the degree that we want. One needs to keep in mind that we are doing research in order to contribute something towards society, in order to give something to the government, in order to contribute towards some assistance to the policy makers. Our research should contribute somewhere in their domain, which will help them to build some policies or upliftment of the society, development of society, or we try to come up with some kind of innovation in any sector by contributing in the field of research. So what we face, all of us, is basically how are we going to collect data, and from all the chaos and from all the mess which is available, when you have data running into lakhs and crores of material, and when you have lakhs and crores of researchers on various platforms, how are we going to connect to them? this is a session that I'm going to help you out. Types of data, basically दो type के data होते हैं और ये data होता है primary नहीं तो secondary. Primary data होता है fresh data जो हम पहली बार collect करते हैं and we collect it originally. We actually ensure that we are not using somebody's processed data, which is statistically processed, but we collect a fresh data, raw data, and we process the data in order to get more accurate and refined results. That is primary data all about. Very time consuming. Yes, it is expensive method also. Involves a lot of documentation also. And the question as to what type of data should be used is again answered in research design. तो टाइटल डिसाइड होने के बाद जब आप रिसर्च डिजाइन बनाते हो so a lot of WH questions you need to answer to yourself and make it ensured that you will be able to defend it when you have been asked in your open defense. So one such type of question in the research design will be, what kind of data will you be collecting and from where will you be collecting the data? So your where becomes various sources of data and what kind of data, that's completely different. Data are two types, qualitative, quantitative. लेकिन आज के टाइटल में हमने दिया है sources of data and these sources are only two sources which are known as primary and secondary sources. I would be concentrating more on secondary sources because primary sources we all know there are primary sources we have through survey method, by observation method, by interview method. अब सर्वे के लिए क्वेश्चनर बनाना पड़ता है. जब आप स्ट्रक्चर्ड स्टैंडर्डाइज क्वेश्चनर बनाते हो इसका अलग से एक सेशन ही होता है 1 से 2 घंटे का, where I actually try and teach you how to make the questionnaire. Because once you make your objective, याद रखना फ्रेंड्स, जब आप ऑब्जेक्टिव बना रहे हो तभी आप डिसाइड कर लिया कि आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव के हिसाब से आपका कौन सा टूल लगने वाला है. A statistician will immediately let you know, or a well-played researcher in the field of research can let you know, reading your objective, which statistical tool will you apply. Okay, so more important is when you draft your objectives, every word in your objective will help you to define which statistical tool can you use. Mean, median, mode, ANOVA, or whether you'll be using all different tools. Which tool can you apply will depend on the words, regression, correlation. It depends on the words that you use in your object. That's again a secret point that I'm letting you know. A bonus that which words you should use. I'll share the PPT with you in the objective, which will help you to define your statistical tool. So this is a point of difference. Basic, I've tried to give you what is primary and secondary data. Primary data is available in very crude and that's what I said, in a very raw form. It's real-time data, first-hand data. You're collecting the data afresh from your respondents. And it requires large number of resources. Definitely time factor chahiye, financial assistance chahiye. You also require manpower, because if your sample size is really high, then after you calculate your sample size from the formula and the calculator available free of charge on Google, if you search it also, you'll be able now to use the sample size formula very well, because now you know what is sample frame and what is population. Population stands for N. Once you know all these factors, you will be able to derive your sample size very well. Agar sample size बहुत बड़ा है, it's very large, and you're collecting primary data, one person will not be able to collect data in a stipulated period of time. So you require some manpower and research assistants who will go on the field and collect data from you for you in the form of structured questionnaire. These days, it is fortunate that people are using electronic mode of questionnaire, where they use Google Forms and circulate the link, which goes very easy and simplified. However, marketing में देखने जाओ तो most popular method is not through this Google Forms and survey method. In marketing management, if researchers are done, it's more on observation method, because they observe how consumer behaves, what's the psychology of the consumer. For example, if I tell you, why have you ever thought as to why soft music is played on in research malls? Why do you have every time in the background in retail stores and departments soft musics which are on? Any idea? Why don't you have the rock band kind of a music? Why it is never played? Why every time you have soft musics or instrumental songs which are played in the background into department stores and retail outlets, into malls? Any reason? There is a research done on it, yes. So when you have into retail sector, when you are planning to have your store management done, so this comes into one of the factors. स्टोर मैनेजमेंट आप जब डिसाइड कर रहे हो तो वहां पे रॉक बैंड जैसा म्यूजिक मत डालो भाई, सॉफ्ट इंस्ट्रूमेंटल म्यूजिक डालो. क्यों ऐसा होता है? It can calm the mind so that people will feel happy and spend more time. Correct. So keeps you stress free. Correct. That's one of the reasons as to why soft instrumental music and soft low music pe chalaye jate hain, because they want to attract consumers to the store and ensure that they stay back in their store for a longer period of time. When they stay back in the store for a longer period of time, I'm sure it will create impulse buying behavior based on the window display that you must have done for your retail stores. So for store management, all these aspects play a very major role. Your store display, how you are doing, your window display, what kind of music are you running, how is the floor management done, how is the display of the products been done. All this may create an impulse buy towards the consumer and who may buy your product, and that is what ultimately you're looking out for. So this was a very good kind of a research done, and this kind of research was done based on observation method only, not by a survey method. So in one of the department stores, they had kept that rock band music, and one of the other department stores they had kept the soft instrumental music was on. Consumers who really were there for a longer period of time was certainly at the departmental store which was having soft rhythmic soft music which was on, and the sales also of that store was much higher as compared to the rock band, because people were irritated, frustrated, and really they wanted to come out from the noisy place. So because of which they did not stay back for a longer period of time, not creating impulse buy from the end of the consumers. A kind of a research done. And I give you an example that most of the time in consumer buying behavior, observation methods are used. When I say observation methods, not common people like you and me do these observations, and we have people who are in the field of psychology who can understand the behavior of consumers, even that is after and before, and then make analysis and interpretation on their buying behavior, reading their mind and behaviors. So that's an observation method, which is known as primary data collection method. Next is interview method. At times when you have to collect data from top authorities, maybe if you're having um, a research to be done at from a couple of banks, and you have to meet up the CEOs. So there definitely you cannot give them your electronic mode of questionnaire to fill up. You will definitely need to have a kind of a one-to-one face-to-face interview in order to know them what is the insights of their bank and satisfaction of their employees, and what's the economic condition right now, what they are expecting future economy to be with. So you may talk to around top 10 CEOs of top 10 companies. If you have to talk to the prime minister, that is what is his future decisions for the next 5 years for economic development of the country. So Modi sir ke saath to definitely you will have one-on-one. That is an interview-based method. So interview-based methods are basically used when you want to extract in-depth knowledge from an individual, and probably make the individual much more comfortable. That's the time when you use interview methods very popularly. Okay. And let's concentrate more on secondary method. I said this is relatively less expensive, much more easier to collect data. And such kind of data are processed data. Somebody have already found the data, analyzed the data, and published the data again. So we are working on the republished data, which is known as secondary data. And findings can also be done from the republished data, from the reports which have been uploaded on public domains. So let's see as to basically how such kind of data can be collected when you talk about secondary sources. So I'll be showing you company websites, government statistics, industry associations. So if somebody is doing any kind of a research which is related to industry, then which is basically a site where they can go when they can find a lot of thesis, working papers, journals, published papers, which will help them to get a lot of data for their review of literature, and which will enable them to identify the gaps and structure their objectives in order to bridge the gaps. Okay. Okay, let's go with the first one. What I try to give you, Google. That's one of the search engines that we all know. But unfortunately, many of us really don't know how to search on Google. Okay, let's go ahead with it. Has anyone tried how to search on Google? Anybody knows any characteristics of it? चलिए दिखाते हैं. Let's go to Google search engine. Now, in case if you are looking out for thesis or you're looking out for dissertations in your domain, the area in which you're working, all you got to write down is the keyword. Before the keyword, you need to write down one word, which is known as E, the keyword, correct? Which is known as ETD. E stands for electronic, T stands for thesis, and D stands for dissertation. So we write down ETD, and I pick up the word microfinance. So all what I see here is basically they will get me, this is a place where they will make me reach into repositories of various colleges and various universities. अब यूनिवर्सिटीज में रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स जब अपना पीएचडी खत्म करते हैं, they have to deposit, they have to submit their thesis. This submitted thesis are then being uploaded on the repository of various universities. So ETD say you will be able to land onto various repositories of various universities, and there you will be able to get full thesis and dissertations in the area and domain where you're working. I have typed microfinance. अब यहाँ पे click करके देखते हैं microfinance. Made me reach a University of Liberties thesis and dissertation here. Microfinance related all the thesis, and you just have to download it and you'll be able to find your area, your domain thesis. Remember ETD. Let's go back again. I will take to a repository also. Chalo, let's try here. Tejpur University, Assam, ETD, Electronic Thesis and Depository. It is a reservoir of electronic thesis and dissertations here. All you got to say, all languages are available. Your disciplines also will be available. Collections of thesis, you need to click here and you to search for your area. Consumer behavior देखेंगे तो यहाँ पे thesis वो सब वो area में मिलेंगे. देख लेते हैं एक बार. हाँ जी, यहाँ पे देखिए. These are all the theses which have been submitted by research scholars, publicly made available on the domain, on the repository, which you can click here and see. So type your keywords and you will be able to find thesis and dissertations here. All you got to type was, I said, ETD and the keyword of what you are searching. That's one way on Google search that you can have. Apart from that, your keyword, and you can write down research paper, PDF, conference proceedings. If you write down these keywords along with it, you'll be precisely getting those PDF format only, or you'll be getting into research conferences proceedings only for the paper that you're looking out for. Next, what we go on is Google Scholar. I am sure that you have read and heard about Google Scholar. Anybody who is having an account on Google Scholar? Anybody having an account on ResearchGate, Google Scholar? Nobody? Well, you should be on such platforms. This is another kind of a search engine. Google Scholar is, again, I said, a subset of a larger Google search. It is again a kind of a research engine only, or Google Scholar page. It's basically a community where you will find people, all research authors who are dwelling into this platform. Is basically like Facebook, ResearchGate, LinkedIn, Google Scholars are like Facebook. You drop a message there, people who are interested to answer, they may answer and resolve your queries here. So related people of your domain, your community, whether marketing, finance, HR, psychology, sociology, a variety of peoples you'll find in on this platform, which is known as Google Scholar. अब गूगल स्कॉलर में आने के लिए एक बात आपको याद रखना है कि यू कैन नॉट यूज योर ओन आईडीज हियर. हाँ जी, लाइक याहू, जीमेल एंड याहू. यू नीड टू हैव, रिसर्च गेट पे भी वही प्रॉब्लम होता है, यू नीड टू हैव इंस्टीट्यूशनल आईडीज. लेट मी शो इट टू यू. अगर वहां पे निकल पाए तो ठीक है. अब गूगल स्कॉलर पे से करके वो बता देते एक बार. चलो यहाँ पे और एक बात ही मैं आपको बता सकती हूँ. व्हेन यू आर मेकिंग अ सर्च ऑन गूगल सर्च इंजिन्स, फिर गूगल स्कॉलर पे जाती हूँ, तो गूगल सर्च इंजिन्स में भी अगर आप जब सर्च करते हो, आई सर्च फॉर अ टॉपिक कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर टुवर्ड्स ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग, and look at the number of papers that I have got. If anybody could read it, I think this is 3 crore 1 lakh papers. 3 crore 1 lakh papers I have got, which I cannot do review of. I need to boil down, sub down the number of papers concretely and focus into my research areas and domains. इसमें काफी ऐसे papers हो गए शायद जो मेरे unrelated भी हो गए. So all what I need to do is I put this into inverted commas. When I put the required face into inverted commas, it will precisely give me only papers related to precisely online shopping. And you see the number has come down to 16,000. What is that? 16 lakh 30,000. So out of 3 crore papers which are available, it has now come down to number of papers which are 16 lakh 30,000. How? Because I added inverted commas. Inverted commas help me to precisely search for that phrase of papers what I'm looking out for as my keywords. तो आपके टॉपिक में जो भी keywords होते हैं, वो keywords अगर आप inverted commas में डाल देंगे, your search will go much more faster, much more deeper, and it will give you precise those papers which you're looking out for, reducing the number of search, as you have seen the number here which has come down. Putting into inverted commas, that's one more way that you can use. Well, if you want to use alternate words also, maybe I'm saying online shopping for sweets. अब स्वीट्स के अलावा लोग और कुछ भी वर्ड्स यूज करते हैं. सो इफ आई वांट टू यूज सम सिनोनिमस वर्ड्स व्हिच पीपल हैव यूज्ड इन देयर रिसर्च पेपर, दे मे यूज कैंडीज, दे मे यूज desserts, any alternate words which they may be using. What I do is, आपके लैपटॉप पे कीबोर्ड पे, if you see on the keyboard digit 1 के बाजू में you will see a sign which is a symbol of synonymous words. If you click there, now you will see papers which will be having synonymous words which shows apparels use karo, sweets use karo. So it will show you only those words in the papers. Alternate of sweets can be used as candies, can be used as desserts. Ab wo related papers bhi aapko mil jayenge. So this is one standard icon which can be used, symbol which can be used for alternate words in your paper that you are looking out for. Okay. So पैंडेमिक के बदले कुछ लोग अपने पेपर में लिखते हैं ब्रेकआउट. अब ब्रेकआउट का भी वो शायद पेपर हो सकता है कि आपके रिलेटेड हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, स्ट्रेस फेस बाय सिविलियंस ड्यूरिंग पैंडेमिक. अब कुछ लोग ने ऐसे लिखा होगा स्ट्रेस फेस बाय सिविलियंस ड्यूरिंग ब्रेकआउट्स. That also paper may relate to you. So if you use the symbol which I have shown you, which is available near digit 1 on your keyboard, so all what you need to do is shift and you need to press that sign. That sign will give you alternate words then. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. अब हम जाते हैं गूगल स्कॉलर पे. अब गूगल स्कॉलर में एक ही प्रॉब्लम होता है कि you are able to search on this domain only not with your own personal IDs, which is called as Gmail account or Yahoo account. You will need to have your institution ID. All what I'm showing you right now is freely available. You don't have to make any payments anywhere. Please mark. Okay. There are sites also where you have to pay an amount. Okay, 30 days free access hota hai where you can download the papers. After 30 days free access, you have to buy membership in order to access the research paper. के लिए you cannot freely access the papers. You need to become a member. तो मेंबर ना बना हो लेकिन आप कोई ग्रुप और नेटवर्क के साथ एसोसिएट हो गए और वो ग्रुप और नेटवर्क में अगर कोई मेंबर एमिरालस और या स्कूपस का है, प्रोकस का है, so it'll be a bonanza for you because you have to just make a request to that member that you need access to this paper. It is freely accessible to them because they are the members. नहीं तो उनकी institution member होगी. They can access, they can download the paper and forward it to you. So it is highly advisable that you always be in touch with various networks and especially when you're doing research. That is why Google Scholars, ResearchGate, LinkedIn, are the forums what you can look out for, which is related to academia, which is related to research. Be a part of these groups. I will also post some messages. किसको पोस्ट कर सकती हूँ सविता मैम, मैं आपको मैसेजेस पोस्ट कर दूंगी certain groups के where our research scholars can become members of that group. Lot of
Yes,
discussion
yes, ma'am.
takes place on that forum where answers have been given by expertise. Dr. Neeraj Kaushik, he is my mentor who has been teaching me research right from my beginning when I was doing my PhD. आज की तारीख में भी अगर मुझे कोई queries आता है, I just land up to Dr. Neeraj Kaushik or on that group, and I put in my doubts and answers are given to me. So likewise, even if my research scholars were pursuing their PhD and aspiring researchers who have some problems as to which statistical tool to use or which type of sampling data or whether they are going on the right track and right channel, such kind of queries can also be answered on such research forums where I highly advise that you should be a part of this forum. अगर
Yes, yes,
chance
ma'am,
मिला
sure.
तो शायद, I don't know, I'll just search if that forum is there. All you need to do is just add a request there, and once you add a request you will be added to the group. नहीं तो आप मुझे request भेजिए, I will tell the concerned admin person to add you into the forum. N number of research papers you will get it free, and advice is what you want, you get it free. मैं भी जरा ढूंढ लेती हूँ forum. हाँ, it is the Smart Success Google group. Fantastic group that one should be on. So I advise all my research scholars and all my research students, you be on this group because a lot of discussions takes place on this group. Even if you're a silent player, it is fine. One fine day, if you have got a query or if you want a research paper, you may just post it on the group that kindly help to get this research paper free of charge. You can get a lot of research articles and papers in this area. Even if you have your research topic and you request, can anyone help me to find related domain area papers in this topic? There are good people who will help you, but few of them will say, please do your job first and then let ask queries to us. So you need to be very careful when you ask questions and raise questions also on this group. Please note this group, the smart success at the rate googlegroups.com. I can write a message on this group, add so and so email IDs, 4, 5, 6, 7 email IDs I can add. In the span of 1 or 2 days, will be added automatically to this group. And everything what is discussed on this group, it is open forum. You will also be able to access to this group. That's one more way of sources of data for you as a shortcut that you can get as a support. Let's go to Google Scholar. अब Google Scholar में आपने login तो कर लिया है through your institution ID. What you need to do is you need to go to this freelance and you need to go to advanced search. Now advanced search जब आप type करते हो, you need to type your paper. Once you type your paper here, you need to type your precise word. For example, I say online shopping, consumer behavior for online shopping. That's a research paper what I'm looking out for. अगर मैं click करूंगी तो let's see how many papers I'm getting here. वापस से कोई फिगर पड़ेगा तो देखेंगे गूगल स्कॉलर पे नियर अबाउट 5,03,000 papers are available here. But if I want to make it more precise as to reduce the number of search, I add some more words here. Online shopping, I say for precise phrase, precise word, at least one word I say. ठीक है, मैंने बोला apparel देख लो भाई, यहाँ पे कुछ मिल रहा है उसका related. तो apparel पे My search has come down to 60,000 from what was the number earlier? So if you want to get down to numbers, narrow down your number of searches, then precise advanced search can be done in Google Scholars that you need to know. Probably if I want time period here, तो मैं बोल रही हूँ मुझे 2019 से 2022 तक जितने पेपर्स हुए हैं इस पे जरा वो बताइए. 17,000 पेपर हुए हैं ये पर्टिकुलर डोमेन में, लेकिन टाइम फ्रेम क्या बताया है 2019 से 2022 तक. So you have got for review of literature, which is done according to national and international. You divide into categories, right? That is national, international. You divide into categories according to your variables, and finally the time frame. तो पहले के जो पेपर्स थे वो अब रिसेंट लगते हो, पास्ट के पेपर्स पहले लिखते हो. So this is how, according to the periodics, and that is according to your year, you can get your research papers also. Recent years, you can be seeing it here. That's another advanced search that you can have. Okay, let's go ahead. So I told you how you can have your advanced search here. Either you add on any phrase here, or at least add on one word of precisely your keyword, what you're looking out in your research topic. If you do not want any word, you just need to write down the word that you don't want. For example, if I'm saying Gen Y, अब Gen Y में मुझे college going नहीं चाहिए. Okay? Gen Y का अगर देखोगे यूनिसेफ ने बहुत बताया है कि उनका एज ग्रुप होता है समथिंग फ्रॉम 18 to 40. अब 18 to 40 में तो कॉलेजेंस आ जाते हैं, तो जितना जितना हो सके मुझे कॉलेजेंस वाले टीनेज नहीं चाहिए, मुझे वर्किंग क्लास चाहिए स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम एज ग्रुप ऑफ 25 to 35 or 40. Then what I need to say is without the word that is known as college going students. तो उस हिसाब से पेपर्स आपके reduce हो जाएंगे. Precisely if you're looking out for some authors, type the author's names here. So this is an advanced search you make which helps you to save your time and get concrete papers what you're looking out for. That's another method for sources of data, especially from secondary sources. I've given you examples here which you can go through it. Agenda Connect, this is another kind of a website which is hosted by scholarly books and journals which are available here. Publishers upload those books and journals here. Millions of articles and chapters and reports are available here. Let's log into this site and see how does it function. Yes, get your connect notice here. So you have a lot of authors who are here. What you need to search is search for, this is advanced search also you have. So I had searched your consumer behavior for online shopping since I was looking out for one paper here. और ये search पे हमें पता चला how many papers are available. तो नीचे सब search आने लगे यहाँ पे देखिए जी. Precisely it is telling me all different kind of papers which are available in my domain. Precisely the topic what I am looking out for. Again, a good website where you can log in to look out for your papers. INGNTA, a website where research articles, books into different domains, different languages have been posted here. You may take a look here. You need not have to sign up here. Without signing up also, various kind of publications, publishers, you'll be able to screen here. You need to do a little of browsing, little of research into these domains, what I am showing you. Okay. Check, we are connected. Check. Ma'am, we are connected, no? Harshita, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
नेक्स्ट रिसर्च गेट आई गिव यू एन आइडिया. बस इसमें रिसर्च के में एक प्रॉब्लम है कि इंस्टीट्यूशन आईडीज चाहिए आपको. अदरवाइज इट इज अ वंडरफुल प्लेस अगेन व्हाट यू कैन बी हियर where you will get people in your domain as good as I said Facebook, जहाँ पे lot of discussions forums होते हैं. So if you have any difficulties, you can raise your questions here and there are people to help you out. ResearchGate, one more place to get research articles. Well, if anybody is working into the area domain of where you are working into research papers related to industry in or any sector, and whether you want to find out any details related to that particular industry, this is a fantastic again website, which is known as Institute for Studies in Industrial Development, ISID. Basically, you will get it is a Indian Council of Social Science Research, Ministry of Education site. If you see here, you'll get working papers, published papers also you will find here. हाँ जी, तो ये बंद करते हम यहाँ पे चले जाते. All you got to go to see is publications. Publications पे जाएंगे तो working papers आपको मिलेंगे. ये working papers सभी domain, especially for people in the field of trade, transport and industry में अगर research कर रहे हैं, people from business economics के background से अगर कर रहे हैं, commerce में कर रहे हैं, तो फिर yes, you may be studying certain kind of industries. So all related to exports, India's trade in pharmaceuticals, India's global vacancy, all the papers are available here. These are all working papers. Click on it and it will take you to that paper. Fantastic in the area, what you're doing. You can get it. Well, this is downloading. Time lagega. Download हो रहा है तब तक आगे देख लेते हैं. We can have books and monograms also. तो यहाँ का अगर हम क्लिक करेंगे, I think too many windows are open. That's the reason it's taking a little time. Free of charge available, friends. You can visit this place, this particular site, and you can see all the books related to sociology, related to economy, related to economics, whatever your domain will be, related to finance and accountancy. You have all the papers which are here. You may check through it. Apart from publications और कुछ देखना, you can either publication यहाँ पे कर सकते हो, नहीं तो research articles है भाई, तो newspapers or website articles, so it will take you those articles. These are all the articles what is happening with China running fumes, South India. So this is global reach that you can have a lot of papers which are available here. Any difficulties, contact details और सब दिए गए हैं. If you want to know more about this particular site, you can browse through it. Self-explanatory hai. I repeat again, it is ISID, fantastic place where you can get a lot of material related to secondary data collections in case if you want to have the field of accounting and finance or economics or any other domains. चलिए अब जाते हैं आगे. अब तक हमने जो देखा हुआ था गूगल पे सर्च कैसे करना, देन आई शो यू गूगल स्कॉलर में हमने आपको सर्च इंजिन्स बताए which is known as advanced search, which are the different methods that you can use to have your paper related papers with less number, where it makes your review of literature more easy. That is through advanced search. I showed you ResearchGate. I requested that you need to have institutional IDs for ResearchGate. नहीं institutional ID के बिना आपको login नहीं कर पाएंगे. Again, I told you it is kind of a network platform where a lot of authors, research scholars with different domains, they come, they meet together, have discussions. Your queries also may be resolved here if you raise on such forum. Then we came to ISIT. Next, we go to SSRN, which is Social Science Research Network. Again, you see it is a collaboration. It is worldwide collaboration where you have 241,000 authors, 1.7 million users, rapid worldwide dissemination of information for social science researchers. If you click on this, it will make you land up again to their website. You will have to explore the website in order to get connected. A lot of subscriptions भी आपको आगे रहेंगे. Free profiles, free domain है. Again, you don't have to pay any price here to get connected here. Let's go to another kind of a search engine that I can take you. All secondary data sources free of charge. Fantastic place what I show you. Open knowledge repository, which is known as OKR. This kind of a repository, it's available for all the authors, books, papers, freely available. You also get thesis, and all this are very authentic because all this is published by World Bank. The purpose and objective of World Bank is to disseminate information and promote research into various fields. And hence they have come up with this repository, which is related to all different sectors and domains. तो आपको क्या चाहिए कि यहाँ से ढूंढ सकते हो, title wise, topic wise, whatever your topic will be, you will have to type it here. and you will get it into your areas, books, research papers and all. So this according to the title, different languages, different countries, all their work is available at one place, which is made available by World Bank in order to promote research. This is alphabetically है friends, so आप उस हिसाब से देखिए, आपको topic wise देखना है तो आप topic wise, so you will have to do a little of screening here. So access to markets, access to finance, access to basic education. So you will find papers related to this area. अब देख लो हम tourism पे करते हैं. All those papers related to tourism, you will be all able to see here in different ranges. Okay, so your area, your domain, type and explore this. You'll be able to. OKR, it's a site which is being promoted by World Bank in order to promote research. So database of journals, there are different kind of journals. These journals again, their sites are available. मैंने आपको बताया login करो, 30 दिन का आपको free access मिलता है. 30 दिन में जितने पेपर डाउनलोड करने यहाँ से कर लो research related, then you can, if नहीं हो रहे हैं, so then the network and forums when I'm asking you to join वहाँ पे कीजिए. There are people and institutions which are member of these kind of platforms, reputed journals के, उनको free access होता है. They can forward the paper to you on request and on demand. Taylor and Francis, Springer you have, Emeralds you have. These are all repute journals. When I say ABDC journals, they come into top 10 journals into domains where you can get your research paper. DOAJ, fantastic repository again. This is basically a directory where you find papers into all fields and sectors, which is put up here. तो all reputed journals के papers आपको यहाँ पे free access में domain में आपको मिल सकते हैं. A place where you can explore it. Let's see how we can come to this place. पता नहीं अगर हमने यहाँ पे site डाला है क्या इनका. I don't know whether click. DOAJ ऐसे ही डाल के देखते हैं. चलो खोला तो होगा शायद मैंने.
Ma'am, can I ask something?
Yes.
Are the science related journals and articles are available on these platforms?
I will be, yes ma'am, they are available related to chemistry, related to biology, sociology. The science के branches के भी lot of papers, articles, working papers are available on this platform, what I'm showing you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're most welcome. So this is directory of open access journals. एक बार check करते हैं. हाँ जी. Very easy to access. Journals or articles देखे, languages देखे, countries related देखो, journals with देखो, how many number of journals and articles on record, what they have. You just have to search your field. Title, subject देखो, subject आपका कौन सा है, उस हिसाब से आपको subject लिखते हैं. Journal article आपको जो रखना हो, तो probably चलो हम देख लेते हैं. Since I belong to this finance and commerce, इसलिए मैं लिखती हूँ, लेकिन आपके में एरिया, आपके डोमेन्स के भी आपको मिल जाएंगे रिलेटेड साइट्स. देखिए एग्रीकल्चर भी है, ये सब एरियाज है. हिस्ट्री भी है, लॉ भी है, मेडिसिन भी है, म्यूजिक, बुक, आर्ट्स भी है, फिलोसफी, साइकोलॉजी, रिलीजन, पॉलिटिकल साइंस भी है, साइंस भी है. मैम योर क्वेश्चन इज आंसर्ड. Social science भी है. Click
Yes,
on
ma'am.
it and you will get your related papers
Yes, ma'am.
on DOAJ. Another fantastic website, depository where all articles, books have been available, research papers have been available here. With one click, you will be able to see. एक बार social science देख लेंगे. These are the papers what I'm trying to show you here. मान लो social science में जाते हैं हम. Different countries के papers, and if you click on it, different languages के साथ. International Journal of Financial Studies, click on it. It will make you land up to that particular journal, and you'll be able to then see a lot of papers which are published in that journal. These are all different papers.
Something about some books, no? About
Yes,
books.
if you want some books also, I'll be showing you if free of charge, if you want to have some books. Let's see where you can get it from. Well, these are various reports. If anybody is working into area of finance, okay, or in the area of banking and in insurance, I try to get some kind of sites where you will be able to explore and you will be able to get a lot of data here. Security Exchange Board of India, everybody knows it. इनके publications और repositories होते हैं. भाई उनके भी publications आते हैं, annual reports आते हैं. You may browse through these annual reports and publications in order to get what kind of papers have been published. ये उनके reports है year wise. You see for how many years it has been made, and it all have been uploaded here. Public interest disclosures है. I'm looking out for research papers also. Working papers भी यहाँ पे बहुत होते हैं. You can find out those working papers also. These are various kind of books. Somebody was asking me off late जो books का अगर कोई publish हुई हो, वो books भी यहाँ पे upload होती है. According to date and title, you need to enter it, and you'll be able to search for those books. Department of Economics Policy. जी आप books यहाँ पे कीजिए, publication के related area of concerns डालिए, you'll be able to fetch and search for those books there. Okay, so that's one thing what I was happy to share with. So these are various sites. Click on the sites and it will take you to the domains where you want. Somebody was asking for books. This is insurance regulatory journal. Somebody working in the area of insurance can get it. Well, these are books. So from where can you get access to these books? NSE is one such place where you can get a lot of books related to securities market, financial markets. If anybody is doing into time series analysis, then this is again one place where you can get books related to area of finance. You will just have to explore these places. Now, every time I think we are running short of time, also I will not be able to take you those places and see it. But you can always search your research papers, working papers, and they will give you, click on this and you can go to those papers and see it. Well, somebody has asked me for books also. Yes, just a moment. Annual reports as Aisha codes, Aisha reports होते हैं वो education. वैसे ये सब reports अगर आपको चाहिए SEBI के, RBI के, you may just have to log into their website and you will see reports for over decades and decades which are uploaded. Secondary databases पे भी आपके reports, going through those reports, you will be able to make a research paper which is completely review based paper. These are handbooks which are based on statistics and in economy, handbooks for monetary statistics. So ये सब मैंने sites आपको links दिया है. You can go through the sites and books will be available for you. Handbooks freely available. You can download it, and even your libraries can have this kind of books. एक बार आपको बताना चाहूँगी. Let me see if I have that. Well, organizers will want to have the PPTs and recording. We will surely give you that. I have just posted to myself also. Just a moment. हाँ जी, these are various kind of research methodology के books के links है मेरे पास. You don't have to buy those books. These are just links. You download it and you get it. Well, somebody had asked me for links for books. एक काम करती हूँ. Sites भी है, books भी है. Here you go, ma'am. We give you all the links for books which are freely available. So digital library and OERs, all related sites I have shared with you. Free books in all the domains, all the faculties, you will get it from here. Sources of data, especially I picked up secondary sources. Primary sources में तो हमें तो questionnaire बनाना होता है. So this, I tried my best to give you maximum knowledge on various types of sites and books and even reports and repositories that you can search with, thesis that you can search with. भाई कोई कंपनी पे अगर कोई कर रहा है, somebody wants to study the financial statements of the particular company for 5 years, time series analysis लगाना चाहते हैं, so this is how you go to the annual report, type the company's name here over a period of alphabetically. तो आपने कंपनी का नाम टाइप करना है, उसके आगे जाना है, it will give you for which year you want to see their report, and their report can be extracted from here. Another example I gave you, 3i Infotech Limited, ये कंपनी का record मुझे, this is how I'll get the entire details of that particular company, what I'm looking out for. Year wise उनके reports मुझे मिल सकते हैं. This is the financial statement of the particular company, what I'm looking out for. So this is how these web links can help you out in order to get company wise report, financial statements, in order to read it, analyze it, and bring out with results. Year wise. Okay. So that's example what I've given you, how you can extract. Okay. Well, this is something more that I'm giving you. अगर कोई बोल रहा है कि भाई हमें कोई researches, thank you very much for interactive live session. God bless you. Thank you. I'm happy that you all are happy with the deliveries that I've given. Indian thesis, if anybody wants, then शोध गंगा का इनफ्लिप का लिंक दिया है. भाई आपको जो करना है, हर कॉलेज, हर यूनिवर्सिटीज अपने अपने रिपोजिटरीज और थीसिस अपलोड करती है. शोध गंगा पे भी आपको मिलेंगे, मुंबई यूनिवर्सिटी पर बहुत सारे के. क्लिक ऑन द लिंक एंड you'll see a lot of thesis related to your domain. Open access thesis and dissertation also I've given you here. Around the source for collecting data, type your topic and see whether any dissertation is available, any thesis is available. Keep in mind about plagiarism, please. Not more than 10% UGC ने बताया है. So you have to ensure that plagiarism be, you are taking care. Use paraphrasing tools. These paraphrasing tools are freely available on net. Paraphrasing tools, they will help you to redefine and restructure the sentences from where you are copying. This will help you to reduce the plagiarism level also for your thesis. Given a chance, तो मैं पता नहीं अभी तो चांस है, नहीं तो मैं आपको डिफरेंट पैराफ्रेजिंग टूल्स भी बताती थी जो ऑनलाइन फ्रीली अवेलेबल है. जो आप अगर अपना एकेडमिक राइटिंग थीसिस में लैंग्वेज अच्छी चाहिए, भाई हमारी इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज तो अच्छी नहीं है, वी कैन डू लॉजिकली रीजनिंग, लेकिन अगर अच्छी लैंग्वेज में लिखना है तो ये बहुत सारे टूल्स अवेलेबल है, फ्री अवेलेबल ऑनलाइन, जो आपके विच विल ब्यूटिफाई योर लैंग्वेज फॉर योर राइटिंग व्हाट यू आर डूइंग. बेसिक लैंग्वेज आप लिखिए, ब्यूटी बढ़ा के देगा ये टूल. दिस टूल्स आर फ्रीली अवेलेबल. Let's see, if I get chance I'll show you those tools. Not very sure about these tools. Paraphrasing tools I can write and just give it to you right now. Quillbot है सर, एक paraphrasing tool है. दूसरा टूल बताइए, चलो ये एक देख लेते हैं. आप इतना रिसर्च कर रहे हो, इतना डेटा कलेक्ट कर रहे हो, रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर आपने कुछ किया है 200 से 300, बिकॉज सिस्टमैटिक रिव्यू में अगर आप कर रहे हो, यू आर फाइंडिंग योर वेरिएबल्स एंड यू आर फाइंडिंग ऑफ वेरिएबल्स का रिलेशंस क्या है थ्रू योर रिसर्च, दैट इज रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर. 200 से 300 रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर करने पड़ेंगे, और जब रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर कर रहे हो साइमल्टेनियसली यू नीड टू मेंटेन योर बिब्लियोग्राफी. So I have tried my best to come up with a video where I have used one of the reference managing tool which is known as Zotero. Zotero will help you कि आप जो भी जब भी review of literature करते हो, you're browsing through any paper, that paper can be stored in one of the store box, and automatically citations और bibliography आपकी बनती जाएगी. Look at the beauty of Zotero, which is reference managing tool. So you just have to keep storing the papers where you're doing your review of literature, and by default वो आपका bibliography बनाते जाएगा in the pattern or in the preference that you want, that is IEEE you want, or Chicago style you want, whichever style that you are looking out for, you will be able to do that. Please share tools for English grammar as well. Grammarly is one tool that is, but it is a paid version, Dali. So you will have to college institutes अगर आपको promote कर रही है तो Grammarly ले लो, best है. वो नहीं ले है तो free of charge आप Google पे ही करो. What I use is a Squillbot. I love that paraphrasing tool. Then next one is another paraphrasing tool. What you can say is Trinka. ये सब आप लिखते जाओ. Somebody could just help to write down this paraphrasing tools. एक काम करते हैं. Go here and पूनम कक्कड़ में जाके YouTube में जाके I have my own videos here. So I have my own site, my own YouTube channel. Your videos, chalo. I'm learning. I don't know basically how, but a lot of knowledge. What I do is rather than coming up for these meetings, kabhi aise videos bana leti hu. These are all the videos that I have made. So somebody was asking me for paraphrasing tool, how to do review of literature and methodology. ये बहुत सारे videos हमने डाले. If anybody wants to take a look at, so I can share my link with you, my channel link. You can get this. Trinka, this is one place. इसको share कैसे करते हैं? Get sizable link. ये है क्या? I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
This. So I share.
Yes, ma'am.
Get the link and I put it here.
Copy हो गया होगा, ma'am.
Anji. So here you get it. Somebody wanted on Likert scale. भाई ये सब डाल रही हो तो like भी कर देना और share भी कर देना please. Okay. There is Zotero that I would like to show you. Take a look on Zotero also, because Zotero is telling you how to manage your references or automatic bibliography कैसे आते हैं. एक बार Zotero पे देख लेते हैं हम. चलो, let's take a look. So when you're doing a lot of review and if you want to look at various bibliographies that you want to maintain, which can be directly done. It's my own video. Take a look. I hope it is audible to you. Please let me know that it is visible and audible. Audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Did you download Grammarly?
It's basically
Hello
a 7
friends,
minutes video.
as promised,
10 minutes
I'm
video,
back
you can just
with
take a
my
look
next
at it.
video. Well, I always strive hard to contribute in the field of research, either by authoring books or making of small videos. Well, you all will agree with me that the crucial stage in research methodology is about review of literature. And in the process of doing the review of literature, we skip to parallelly maintain our bibliography. And at the end, we piled up writing loads and loads of bibliography where we miss out even what papers we had reviewed. So in today's session, we are going to learn a tool which helps us to manage our references parallelly when our review of literature is on. There are many softwares available, but out of all the softwares, what I'm going to talk in today's session is Zotero. Zotero. Zotero is a free open source software which assists the researcher in managing references. Let us see how does Zotero function. I hereby share my screen. Here we go. So let's go to the search engine. In search engine, let's type Zotero. Zotero. Download. It says download Zotero. Let's click on this. So this is the interface that we need to download both Zotero software and it gets connected with our Google Chrome. So we need to install both download Zotero as well as Zotero connector, which installs Google Chrome connector. So once you download this, this is how we need to download. Once both are downloaded, one, an icon which you will see here, save to Zotero. And second, what I can show you, it comes here. So it'll take a little time to open, but let's see. Yes, this is how the interface of Zotero will look like. Well, this is a folder from which if you click, you can create new folders. For example, if I click here, this is my new folder. It is untitled. I can name it as Poonam. Okay. So you can see this is a new folder created. So a lot of folders, as in how I was doing my review of literature, these folders have been created. Let us see how does it function. Let's go to Google Chrome. Okay.
Correct. True.
Well, there are few review of literature papers that I have downloaded here. Now, first thing what we need to do is we need to get these papers stored in the Zotero folder. So this is the Zotero folder. The icon comes here. All you need to do is click on the paper, click on the icon here, which says save. So it will show you where do you want to save. So there are different folders which I have made. So those folders can be seen here. I say Poonam's folder, that's a new folder I've created, and we just say here, done. Let's move this down. Let's go to the next paper. That's another paper which I had downloaded for referencing. Let me put it to the Zotero folder. Click here, Poonam's folder, done. Next paper on consumer behavior. I'm doing a small research on this. Let's store it in a Zotero folder. So it goes to Poonam and I say, all right, done. So there are three papers which are already being stored in the folder. That's one more paper on cosmetics. I said, all right, this is the icon. We click here, Poonam's folder, and we say done. Now let us see how these papers are looking in the Zotero folder. So here we go. We say Poonam's folder. This is my previous folder where I was working upon. This is the recent folder which I have created. And these are the 4 papers which we have stored in Zotero. So if I click on the first one, it gives you all the details. If you see, it shows you whether it is an article from a book or from a journal. It shows you the author's name, volume, issue, all the details can be given. Let's go to another paper and just check. So it says what type of reference to material it is. So it is from journal article. It gives the title of the paper. It gives you author's name, the abstract, which is available. If you see, it has been clearly mentioned here. Now what I have done is I have paragraph that is known as paraphrasing on reviewing the literature. That's a small paraphrase that I have made, and I have to do citation here with the help of Zotero. Very simple. Once you have downloaded Zotero, automatically on your Microsoft Word, you will get next to view, Zotero catches in here. All you got to do is click on Zotero. You get 2 windows here. One is to add your citations, and second is to add your bibliography. You also have something which is known as document preferences as to how you want to do your bibliography. There are various styles which are available. I'm sure you are aware about the APA style, the 6th edition, the 7th edition. We have the Chicago style. We also, various styles, IEEE style. We have the American Medical Association. The styles, whichever you want to write your bibliography into, is all mentioned here. So we will stick to APA, which is most popular method of maintaining bibliography, the 7th edition, and we write down OK. Now, this is the first line what I have selected from one of the references, which I have to cite here. So go to citation, click on citation. and you're going to write down, either you can write down the author's name, or you can write down any keyword from the title of the paper in order to get your paper cited here. So we write down cosmetics related paper. So here it is. It is from this paper that I had reviewed and written the first slide. So we say click here and we say enter. It is cited, as you can see. Let's go to the next few lines that I have written, that I have paraphrased it from another research paper. Click on the last line. I say cite, and this was from which paper? So we can just write down, it was from online shopping. So yes, online teaching. Okay, this has to come from, write down consumer behavior, online shopping. We click here and we say enter. You see,
All this is coming from the
been
papers that
cited.
I have
How
stored in
simple
Zotero.
it is. I show you once again. This is another review that I had done from one paper. So I again say on site,
From whichever
and
paper
I
I
write
had
down
done, those
consumer
papers are
behavior.
stored in
This is
Zotero.
all catching it from the folder in which we have saved. So Konya, this is from where I have selected. Done. Now parallelly, if I want to even maintain bibliography, all what I need to do is references here. We write down bibliography. Just click on it, and whatever we viewed, the bibliography is maintained here. How easy it is going. You can change the styles in whichever you want. This is APA style, but in case if you want it in IEEE style, so you just have to go here and you have to say, so that is document preference, which preference you want, IEEE, click here on IEEE, say okay, and it has changed the style as numbering. These numbers, you will also find it in the citations, which you have done here, which says first, second, third, and these citations bibliography are even mentioned here, first, second, third. You can keep changing your reference styles whichever you want. As I showed you from document preference, either you go there or you go in APA style 7th edition, 6th edition, whichever is been demanded by the journal in which you are maintaining. Quite easy. So if a recap is needed,
Yes, so I think this was one of the reference managing tool what I showed you. Paraphrasing tool I told you Quillboard use कर सकते हो, Trinka use कर सकते हो. Other freely available paraphrasing tools are also available. That depends. Grammarly also is there. But if you have a larger number of words that is more exceeding more than 2,000, 3,000 thesis कर रहे हो PhD की, so definitely you have larger words. So वहाँ पे भी turn it into, it becomes too costly. 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs rupees का तो आता है वो software उससे भी ज़्यादा. So I think bits and parts made are on free access tools what are available on site, you can use it. Well, that's all from my side. If anybody have any questions, we can take it, or I'm through and done. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope it gave you a little of insights for the best that I can provide you in the span of 1.5 hours for 2 different topics. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the organizing committee too, to give me the platform to interact with the learners. Best part, the learners were very interactive. I loved the session because they too equally took that much of efforts to answer to my questions which I had. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, one question.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
We have an information overload now, all the websites and everything. Is there any reference manager tool for our brain?
Surely, ma'am, we will let you know shortly. Ye session hone ke baad we can have a
It
talk
was
and-
wonderful, ma'am. It was wonderful. Lecture was very good, actually.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any questions, participants? I think they all are overloaded.
Yeah, actually, 3 घंटे का session थोड़ा overload तो होता है, but I'm glad at least they were sitting and
Like,
they.
but we want all that information to be organized. Whatever we have learned, session heavy nahi tha. But all that information needs to be organized and retrieved at the time required. That is important.
Correct. That is more important.
Yeah.
Which page of the book to open when you are stuck. So you should know where to use the required information that you are fetching from us.
Yes. So it was too good. So can we wind up, ma'am?
Yes, of course, ma'am. Waiting for it. Thank
Sharvadi,
you.
ma'am, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Really very wonderful session, ma'am. So many new things we have learned. So many new things. Good evening, all the dignitaries and the participants. It's my pledge, it's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this.
Sharvadi, ma'am, there's some network issue.
Yes, yes, sir. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah.
आवाज आ रही है, ma'am?
हाँ, आ रही है.
Okay. I am thankful to our management and ICSSR for supporting us in conducting this capacity building program on research methodology. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation to Dr. Poonam Kakkad madam for giving an excellent coverage in sampling techniques and explaining sources of data and other related things related to this research. All concepts you have explained in very easier manner, ma'am. It was really helpful session for all of us. I would like to express my sincere thanks to our in charge principal, Dr. Neetu Kapoor madam, for providing encouragement at every step. I am also very grateful to convener of this program and IQSC coordinator, Dr. Savita Punjabi madam, in organizing this all sessions. She has taken so many efforts in organizing these sessions. We are really very thankful to you, ma'am. I would like to take this opportunity to place my hearty thanks to my entire team for their direct and indirect support. Last but not the least, a big thank you to all the audience for listening patiently and making this session more interactive. Thank you all. And I conclude this session by thanking each one of us, each one of you for attending and making this session successful. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, audience. Thank you. With your permission, ma'am, I exit from
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I request all the participants to please fill the feedback form.
And also, please download SPSS trial version. The link has been shared. Tomorrow, sir will be starting in the second session. First session, you'll be taking theory. Second session, you'll be starting with hands-on training. So 5-10 minutes are required for downloading it. Download it properly, keep it ready so that you don't waste time. You can directly simultaneously work upon. I have requested, sir, if any files are there, he will be sharing in advance. We'll be sending on the registered mails. So thank you, everyone. I'm signing up with the meeting. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.